initial temple that he built to the Silver Flame.
And where's this?
If I know anything, it would still be within the mercantile district of Maruk Dar. The Kifar's baubles and goods may be relatively close, but it all depends on what mood Yugilnock is in today.
Excellent. We appreciate your help, old man.
What is Desert Oasis? Corbin?
Corrine. Corrine Duscart.
And Karn of the Silver Flame.
Kern Everfire.
Toss me a pen. So,
And it's Kafar's Baubles and Goods?
Kifar's baubles and goods. With a Q.
Not a K.
So do I get to make him his present now?
I haven't heard the words of a deity in quite some time, but I could use a new stew pot if you wouldn't mind.
That's fine. I have 2 channel advantage now because of one of them was one by short rest. I use it to make him the best damn stew pot he's had in a long time.
You make it.
100 gold to buy a nice stew pot.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is beautiful, gilded with the forge of Onatar. You know, you at an anvil, a very good representation of yourself. You know, like it's beautiful. And it's made of very good steel, so it's sturdy but not too heavy for his very light frame. I thank you. I appreciate it greatly. He puts it up and kind of looks at it for a moment. Very nice, very
I should
nice.
use it. It's pretty seasoned.
It will definitely see plenty of use. The raw jack bugs are getting a little old, so it'd be nice to stew some up and maybe add a few other things to the pot as well.
Just let me know when you're making tea while I'm here. That's all I ask.
Do you ever see Kenku wandering around the city?
If you have a sharp eye, you'll see them about. You've probably already been spotted by them moving about the city. The Kenku are the personal bodyguards of Yugilnock himself. He has several agents that move about the city. I would be wary of every street corner having sets of eyes.
Well, is there any way we can draw him to us instead of trying to find him?
As
And
much as that sounds expedient, my friend, we got our asses kicked by some people that aren't even affiliated with them. Maybe we should take this step by step instead of them step into our ass.
You know, be careful about how you say got our asses kicked. I barely got a scratch from all that.
Because you were tweaking and shooting, you little bastard.
What do you mean just tweaking?
oh,
Yeah.
How's that tweaking?
This
he
is
had
not
a strange
productive.
drink within a fang. Do you know what that is?
That I do. You feeling okay?
Just think.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
With advantage.
You do have advantage.
Nothing.
Well, one's better than nothing, but that's still failure.
Wait, is it how-
11?
wait, he's next to me, right?
I would say that only works in combat.
Sorry.
As you've been kind of almost vibrating in your seat this whole time, just ready to jump up and do anything at all. Your blood is running hot. And when he asks you that question, I'm fine. All of a sudden you feel the bottom of your stomach just drop out. Your limbs and legs just become lethargic. It feels like you have iron weights at the ends of your feet and your hands as you just sit there just, oh God.
Oh God, he's coming down.
It's about time for bed.
You now have no advantage on your Constitution saving throws, as you have disadvantage on your Constitution saving throws. So right now it's currently just meted out, and you take 24 points of psychic damage.
Well, this is why I listen to Flynn.
That's a monster hangover.
You have to be careful with the things that you drink here. That drink is the distilled blood of a demon.
I'm surprised he
Does
didn't
it come with a
register
shot?
Oh God. That's it.
I would suggest if this, you look like you're doing okay. I would say not chancing it a second time, but it is quite delicious.
I guess.
Oh no! To you, it tasted like shh. It tasted bad.
So,
I can't take it. Why? Why you do this? Every time we go somewhere, you drink something, you eat something, you get that human mushrooms, you try to kill yourself. Just come here, and then she just like goes like that.
She like palms your. You go to try to stop her by raising her hand to knock her hand out of the way, and you realize you can't feel your arms.
25 points of healing.
As a side note on the stream, people, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad.
so
Reference of Perry.
I think. Does anybody else have anything they need to ask the old man before we?
No, I made him a blinked out pot, thank you.
Should I
And
learn
now-
anything else about what I drank?
It's delicious and should not be ingested by those who are not used to it. But if you wish to get used to it, this is a great way to start. The first time I took it, I drank it and I was asleep for 3 days.
Oh, so I must get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, no more of this, Perry.
Okay. Until tomorrow.
No.
Perry, do I have to send you to the dark place again?
Is there any lingering effects other than
Don't worry.
physical fatigue?
Oh, well,
I don't know.
I did hear of a lad who drank it and died. So, I mean, it really depends on the individual, I would guess.
Well, is he tainted?
He's been tainted since the day we met him.
Depends on.
That was just that one.
I mean, can the demon who gave his blood to make this stuff know where he is?
If it did, I don't think it'd matter much, as the demons they used blood for this, they are treated like cattle. They're not, devils don't take too kindly to demons, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'd be more worried about not ingesting strange things. You don't know where they came from.
This is a very good point for Perry. Shut your mouth.
Actually, how I have my fun.
This is what got you kicked out of the woods in the first place.
I'm impressed you've been alive as long as you have.
We all are.
I'm surprised as well. I know him when he was a lad. He still hasn't changed. He's gotten worse.
Right, so we go now. We find Kefa's baubles and goods. Then we start looking for people to help us find the nasty demon, kills the nasty demon, and get the...
I went. We need to sleep.
No, we don't need to sleep.
I need to sleep.
We don't need to sleep.
I need to sleep.
Sadness. We go now.
Sleep sounds good right about now.
If you all need a place to stay, I would suggest trying to find the desert's oasis and getting a room there.
Yeah, we go now.
This is the oasis.
Kefa's baubles and goods first.
Kafa's bubbles and goods.
Is
And
there
then
anything that
Maruk.
we need to do in Maruk Dar to prevent what happened earlier from happening again?
We changed bargaining strategy. Obviously, that was a bad idea.
Well, I would suggest not looking as you do if you can avoid that, but you all look like outsiders walking around the city. That's outsiders don't fare well here.
So, let's
Well,
take
how
the
about
clothes
this? And he
from
puts the
him
mask on.
That's slightly better, but the rest of you all look as if you don't belong, and the people who don't belong are the first ones that those people will try to attack, though I wouldn't expect another attack coming anytime soon, as word for stuff like that tends to spread pretty quickly. That was an entire group you all took out. Sizable one at that.
See, where I grew up, gangs that kill other gangs, even if they're not a gang, become gangs. And then you don't mess with the gang at first until you find out about the gang that killed the other gang. Because you might be killed by that new gang.
That was
So they're scared of our gang.
Essentially.
that was quite possibly the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
Well,
We
nobody
go
asked
now.
you, Flimsy Elf.
I put the mask on and I'm like, well, if you want to visit us at the desert's oasis,
Don't
I'll
pay.
buy you a
That
meal.
is,
He
that,
offended me.
it place is a bit outside my price range, and I'm not the young elf I used to be. I don't seek that kind of entertainment anymore.
I'm just talking about a nice flagon and a good meal.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to get within 100 feet of the place, so I'm happy here, and I have my new pot and a nice meal in my belly, and
What did you do, kind friend, to get yourself banned from that place?
it's not that I'm banned, it's simply I'm not the type of clientele they seek.
Hey,
He's immortal.
No, they have a fair view of mortals. Mortals will pay handsomely for what they offer. The problem being, it's not the things I wish to partake in anymore.
Yeah, this makes sense. We go now, yeah.
hey,
Well, it was
more alcohol.
wonderful to
Brock
meet you,
shakes
friend.
Little elf man's hand.
He shakes your hand and he bows to each of you.
Thank you again, guys.
Give him a bow.
Appropriate blessing.
Thank you for saving our ass.
I simply offered a place to rest it off.
May Onatharg bless you.
And
None of your wares break.
and same to you.
Blooby, blooby, blue.
And
I
he,
give him a warrior's handshake.
he gently. I'm an old man.
Oh,
And he walks up to his heavy ironwood door and pulls it open. And at this point, dusk has truly fallen. The sun has... You guys don't get much of the sun. You're still within the labyrinth. So you still only have about that hour, maybe 2 hours of sun in a day. But the light reflects off of the labyrinth walls, making this place incredibly bright. Now with the sun down, it is dark. And
The
I mean, it
temperature
goes
drop?
from light to dark. Here it's... while it was probably 120 degrees while you guys were walking about, about 115 degrees, it's already about 80. It's already dropped 30 degrees. You see dots of fire that burn, the same dots of fire that you saw all over the city that seem to continually burn, offering no heat but light, continue to burn,
did we get a general
though
direction?
most of the city appears to be dark.
Did we get a general direction of this kafars and baubles and goods?
Nope.
Remember you said it.
Oh,
So, start looking for the mercantile area.
Okay, each of you guys go ahead and roll me and
initiative.
just roll me a straight intelligence check.
Wonderful.
Aha! Half of us failed.
20.
6
I
for
got
me.
more if that give me +1.
So 7, so 6 for you.
Wow.
Natural 1,
17.
17.
You know the drill.
Arnos,
14.
16.
20.
16.
Natural 20.
Triswin,
Yeah.
as you guys are looking around, not trying to figure out just exactly where to go, something dawns on you for a moment. As you look at the lights, you can see that they're not all over the city. There seems to be lights in a very small area with these burning lights, with the ever-burning flames. It seems as if these places are where mortals would congregate, as the other areas, while remaining dark, would be more suited for things like devils or kenku or other things with very good dark vision. They'd be moving about there. Seems as if you were to follow this path long enough, you may come to where the mercantile center is. As you all know, both mortals and immortals use that section of the city regularly. The rest of the city, depending on what part of town you're in, can be fairly seedy.
I grab Gary's arm. He goes this way. Start leading
Oh, are you taking me to
I'm
liquor?
gonna see about.
While you still have the
Couple away.
Constitution, you're currently walking with light.
I know, but just in case.
Okay, and it lasts what?
8 hours?
8 hours. Okay.
I have natural dark vision, so I won't-
So as you're walking around, you're slowly starting to get the feeling back in your extremities and moving about more, getting your blood pumping a little bit. It seems now, if you're not, as soon as you're not active, as soon as you're just standing still or sitting down, your body just begins to shut down. You feel like you have to get up and just start moving around, even jogging in place to keep your blood moving. Because if you don't, if you feel like you're ready to just go to sleep at any moment.
So sounds like a great nightcap.
So what I'm going to do is, bear with me, I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Okay.
It's a cantrip, so it doesn't really cost me anything.
But it lasts for 6 seconds.
Oh, well,
Oh, is that?
Great for combat, but not great for
okay.
Or it's great if somebody's about to do something.
Let's see here. Let me just check real quick for myself to see if I can do anything to help the dum-dum.
There's no helping the dum-dum. I've been trying.
I can try to help the dum-dum.
So,
I whisper into his ear, I'll be like, listen, if you fall asleep while we're walking, I'm going to cast heat metal on everything metal on your body.
I think I'm wear leather.
As I slide a couple of coins down his shirt. And
Ooh.
keep walking.
You do realize that my shirt is like down here. That certainly helps.
I'm worried more about him heating up your ammunition and setting it off.
all right. So,
That
on
could
to
be
the
some
Mercantile
fun.
District.
I lead the way.
As
Ricky!
you all begin moving through the city, you don't even need a check here. It's super, super easy as look. You can see this place does not shut down like most cities do once night falls. There are still considerable crowds here moving around. As you all begin moving further and further along this path, deeper into the city, perception checks from each of you real quick.
Oh, so it seems like we're in Canyon Vegas.
It doesn't seem like people are partying. It seems it's more like business lasts a lot longer.
Maybe a lot of Vegas.
I can't see this. Nice.
More like
I roll?
Canyon, New York.
Oh my
You rolled
god.
on 9.
A 9, okay.
Oh, you know, he's colorblind.
15.
Giving him
26.
can't see with.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 2.
Did you roll a nat one?
So that was a 7.
25.
25?
15.
It's a day of 25s.
Here, that should work better. My bad.
Okay.
And what'd you roll, Nick?
Nick, what'd you roll?
I rolled +1, and what is it? A
Perception.
Perception.
Careful
Still
walking around
yeah.
back there. The last thing we need to do is unplug this thing, because when you reattach it, just kind of shift the mic over, most likely.
12.
12? Okay. Flynn, you're the first one to hear it as you all are moving along this path. Just audible over the din of people moving about and muffled conversations. You can hear the sounds of a very skilled violin player just drifting over your head.
Gotta make sure my wings are a bit tucked away.
Go to the violin, since I don't know where this place I'm looking for is anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll pop up sooner or later.
As you all begin making your way, it's fairly easy to find this place. As you guys enter what looks to be a more spaced out section of this city, where the rest of it is more like built like a labyrinth. It's very short or skinny walkways. Some places the streets only being 5 feet wide, not really even allowing something like Hamish to really be able to go through, or Mukushla, or a horse being able to traverse this area. This area that you all reach appears to be very much a mercantile center. The buildings are much more spaced out. They also appear to be much larger, and this, aside from what appears to be a strange amphitheater, most of the buildings in this area seem to be well kept and newer. The amphitheater appears to be more, it's old. You can see sections of the eaves that have broken apart from the arches that it has within its structure. But it seems to be well taken care of. There's new paint upon its walls. There are spiced meats that begin wafting in your direction, that are emanating from this building. The violin playing appears to be emanating from this place. And you can see a very large crowd of people that are at tables outside this amphitheater as well as inside the amphitheater itself. Seems to be fairly packed. What are y'all going to do?
It seems like it's a popular place.
I vote to leave the area over where we could easily be discovered because we don't look the same. Old man said we didn't look the same. There's a lot of people over listening to music and stuff, but I'm sure enough people, and I'm sure Big Man's people are up there, and we don't want to be caught doing things, you know, before we want to be caught doing things. So I say we move past.
You telling me or are you telling everybody else?
I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Well, before I can hear that, I'm already heading towards the bar.
How much is it for an athletics check to grapple Dum Dum?
It's an opposed check.
It's an opposed check. So it'd be your
Athletics,
athletics
the,
versus his acrobatics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatic check.
You missed completely by the looks of things.
24.
Yeah, he beat me.
Yeah, you. By the time you see him walking away, you reach out. No, no, no! He's already out of reach as he's walking towards it.
I'm just going to keep walking.
The violin playing is beautiful. At this point, you can all clearly hear it. Over the din of people, over that low rumble of people talking, as you get closer, you can see the people seated within and outside of this amphitheater. There are no conversations happening around this place. All eyes are trained upon the solitary figure that stands upon a very small stage, not even built tall. It almost looks like if they took just some thick planks of wood and laid them on the ground. So while this figure is tall, it's still barely standing over the heads of some of the taller folk within this place.
Who's on the stage?
The person on this stage looks to be a beautiful, beautiful elf, you would say. Very angular features, long flowing raven black hair, has her eyes closed as her head is rested against her violin and she gently plays. She wears a corset that pushes up her ample bosom, but is tasteful. She's not dressed as a courtesan would or a streetwalker would, someone that you'd find somewhere. Everything that she's wearing is elegant. The rings upon her fingers appear to be worth hundreds of gold pieces, if not more, for each section. The earrings that hang from her ears as well. The necklace she wears around her neck appears to be of very, very fine make. She is beautiful, more beautiful than any woman you can remember seeing in your recent memory. And you can see why all eyes are locked upon her as she plays her song. Now, I know what he's doing and he's doing. You're following too, correct? So what are the other three doing?
I'm trying to keep the group together.
So you're following those three?
I'm trying to corral him back to the group.
Oh, I would say with his acrobatics check, he started walking before anybody saw him walking.
I'm going to cuss Norman then.
Okay.
We break his knees.
And
Why do we break
then
his
I'm
knees?
going to stay with the...
Well, you see Flynn, once Flynn sees Perry walking, he's okay, and he starts walking too, which is what you do, correct?
No.
I guess.
Flynn is on a mission of Flynn.
And,
I'm following Perry and Casey.
I guess I'm bringing up the rear.
okay,
Ow.
so following behind, let me go ahead and give you an idea of what you all are looking at real quick.
Oh, it's going to be a bad sign.
Yeah, all right.
Maruk
Please wait. Well,
Dar.
we're getting our beautiful
So-
files from David's Thousand
You need to write loading on that thing somewhere. Every time Dave goes to do this, just put it in front
To
of him.
recap real quick, since we may not have gotten the events out at the beginning of the session, MGS is going to be having a 1,750 point late war tournament this Saturday, starting at noon. We will also be having a 2,000 point ITC 40K tournament on October 6th, starting at noon. There's Friday Night Magic every Friday night. And
SMDM.
anything else I'm missing?
The Flames of War tournament is the late war tournament, by the way, for those of you that might be wondering. Also, this Friday, if anybody's curious about any of the games that we're playing here in the store, come to the blue-haired guy named Nick. The blue-haired guy named Nick, and I will potentially teach you a teaching game. If we're too busy, then I can point you in the direction of the right people. Our tournaments for the 40K tournament will be 3 detachments, 2,000 points. If you need any further advice, then message the store page, then either Nick, Jeremiah, or Ignacio will get back to you. As far as the Plants of War tournament, then also refer to the store page for El Paso War Games RPGs, and then our resident player here, Flynn or Vince, will get back to you. And thank you to David's Tiles and Terrain for hosting us today.
Okay, this is a relative view of what you all see. I'm not going to go ahead and place miniatures yet, just in case, but there's a high potential of a great many things happening in this location. So, this is what you all see. The amphitheater with people crowded around every table. There are no free tables. There is no space at the bar. There are even people standing upon the stairs watching what's happening,
And
watching this performer. And that is looks to be a makeshift stage.
And that's where the performer is.
That is where the solitary performer is. No other music plays besides what she is doing.
So we're...
You guys are coming over here from, it would be from east of here, or west of here, sorry. You guys would be coming up, so you have a clear view from this side into this place. And with the archways, it's fairly open.
Is this the place we're actually looking for?
If I can find any kind of server.
I'm going to slide to the front of the crowd.
So you begin moving your way through. You
Gracefully,
end up,
of course.
yeah, where are you trying to
switch
end
out
up?
holy symbols real quick.
Okay. Which holy symbol?
Alondra.
Alondra? Okay. And where are you trying to end up?
In view of the violin player.
Okay, in clear view? Like,
Clear view.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a fairly, like, you can see her,
No,
but I mean,
like-
you're like right up where she can
Yeah.
see you. Okay. So you kind of move your way up to the front, being careful and polite not to get in anybody's way. But you manage to get yourself into a place where there's other people surrounding the stage. A lot of people are staring at her. A lot of people have tears in their eyes. And you haven't seen the entire performance played. You think you're coming in near the back end of this performance. I know what Flynn's doing. What is everybody else doing?
Attempting to corral.
Well, the only people moving about this place are servers that, while people are staring at the performer, are going by and refilling drinks. No one seems to be taking orders, but they're simply refreshing, taking money off tables with people who've already paid, but they are moving around almost like specters. They're so quiet, trying not to impede the performance of whoever this is on stage.
I don't bother them because I don't want to interrupt
Okay?
the performance.
But you move your way over to the bar? Okay. Everybody else?
I am right there with them.
Okay, so she kind of shoulders her way through and will wind up at least somewhat close to you. This place is fairly packed. The inside appears to be very posh, very maintained. The floor at your feet appears to be made out of ceramic tile, interlaced between red and white. Very, very fine. You all have not seen flooring like this except in the poshest of castles and mansions of people with serious money. You all know that even within Barovia, the homeowners there had no money for something like this. The walls, certain sections of the wall have crumbled due to age. The rest of them appear to have been resupported and reinforced, though some larger sections do appear to be missing. The second floor of this place is also open to the air, having the same archways on the outside, but there's doorways within. It appears as if this would be a tavern as well as a board house on the second and third floors. Though the second and third floors appear to be a bit more disheveled and run down than this first level is.
Question, since everything's so fancy and I am a forge geek, does this give me inspiration?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
I'm keeping an eye out for people who are doing something other than watching the performance.
12 plus 1 is 13, so I'm not.
You have studied history a lot. You've mainly focused on the architectural styles, mainly of items that people have made, okay, like swords and shields and armor and things like that, and how much they've changed through the years. Looking at this place with the archways, the styling of it, this is thrown back to the founding of the Kingdom of Galifar. This same type of construction exists within Thronehold, the castle keep that sits at the center of the Five Nations, where world leaders will collect in order to speak about various things happening and have various conferences and meetings from heads of state. This matches that style. So whatever building this building is older than most of the buildings than you've ever seen.
So I'm going to go over and elbow Flynn because he's one of the most, no offense to anybody else in the party, the most cultured as far as because he has to be a nerd to follow the god and everything.
You get a few grumbled, "Hey, down in front," as you are quite tall, and
I don't give a shit. They're smaller than me and I smash them.
most of them are not smaller than you.
Smaller than me as far as ego.
Okay. You
Because
will.
I don't show it. I have a big ego.
In
but
that
I-
manner, you are the second largest in the party.
Yes, I know.
I love the way.
When you stand next to him, you do hear a voice behind you. Excuse me, make way.
I have a shoulder.
So you turn and say that to him?
Yeah.
Well, you turn and see this man has bat-like leathery wings folded in his chair. He has his hands within his lap. He wears a silk shirt open. He has a very, very good physique. Ruddy red skin, large horns sticking out of his head, and his eyes are black. There are no iris or pupil. It is black.
Please excuse my manservant. He has poor manners, but is useful in the wild. Here, fetch us some ale. Now, please.
Do I have to roll against like Baraka's like actual character traits that I put?
There's a 29 for persuasion if it helps.
Okay,
it's a-
defeats it because like if I can get out, then
Your ego is pretty big, and at first you're about to screw this little 5'11", thinking he can boss me around. But with his words, the words of the old man begin to ring in your head of, this place isn't like others. And for a moment you kind of double check your ego a bit and kind of grumble and walk off towards the bar where there's no bar service. Even the bartender is currently just watching the performance. But you begin to clomp your way towards that direction. Without another word, the gentleman turns, looks at you, and just gives you a glance for a moment, then turns his eyes back to the performance. Anybody else doing anything during the performance?
I guess
I'm
I'm.
flopping on over.
Now, you basically walk up to these two as they're waiting for service to resume. And
Admit it, but I almost got my ass kicked.
So we're basically in 3 different groups.
right now, well, depending on where you are, where are you?
I'm gonna.
And where's
probably
Arnos?
Be with Arnos.
So you two bringing up the rear, where do you guys go?
Well, like I said, I'm just scanning the crowd, seeing if there's anyone
Inside or outside?
Both.
Okay. Each of you, as you all are watching this, we'll get to your perception check in just a minute. I need each of you guys to roll me a wisdom saving throw. I'm sorry, a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh, wait.
No.
I'm immune to some things.
I know. That's fine. Go ahead and roll it.
Charm effect?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a
20.
Okay.
Yeah,
19.
Okay.
First crit of the night, boys.
yeah, right.
Second crit. Second crit. She had a crit, but it became a 19.
My bad.
Well,
Crit of the night for
I have
me.
1 too.
That's a 7.
7?
Yeah.
30.
30?
14.
14? You said 20?
Mhm.
Okay. And
19.
19? So,
Ooh, actually. 17.
so everyone except Flynn, as you're watching even the back half of this, it's almost like you can feel the music. It washes over you. It's almost like you can see the story that she's trying to tell exclusively through the strings of her violin. And it is moving to the point of tears. And you find, all of you except Flynn, having to wipe a tear away from your eyes several times during the performance.
So,
You see-
what you're saying for the
You're
live stream
just
is that-
crying into your beer.
So what you're saying for the live
with
stream
the
though,
mask on.
is that
Yeah.
Flynn is crying.
No.
No, Flynn is the only one not
We
crying.
are all crying. When is it?
As
I got excited for a second.
the music begins to build slowly until it reaches its crescendo, and then with a flourish, she ends her song. There is quiet for a moment. She bows, and it's not until she begins to walk off the stage that the applause begins. And everyone within the place rises to their feet and begins clapping.
Along with
And
the 20?
yes, everyone but Flynn.
Bravo, bravo.
Yeah.
I had a plus
Probably
11 and I rolled a 19.
That's beautiful. That was so
Big
good.
meaty
Even Flynn, as much as he wanted to tear up. I mean, this is sad. This is. You all have heard music before. You had the fling with the bard. This is nothing. She's nothing compared to this song. You've never felt so moved by a piece of music before in your
Which
life.
means, of course, I must approach her.
As she's moving through the crowd, you see people getting up. Some people handing her flowers, other people handing her jewels and necklaces. I mean, just pulling them off of their body and handing them to her. As she just politely grabs a few of them, but doesn't take everything that she's offered. Takes a single red rose, and she walks through the crowd, up the stairs as people are still clapping, and walks away.
Approach her.
What does he
Well,
strip off
as
his
you
body?
go to follow behind her.
Yeah.
When you make it up to the second floor, you see a very large ape-like creature with a pig face standing at the top of the stairs with its forearms crossed.
I have one of those. It's named Thraka. Excuse me, good sir. I need to speak to the lady if you wouldn't mind.
He just nods over towards the bar. Doesn't say anything.
Please. I would appreciate it greatly.
Takes a giant breath that you feel your hair move with this intake of breath and lets it out. Its breath is terrifyingly bad. And nods toward the bar
Does it
again.
pull his eyebrows off?
Almost. It's pretty bad.
This point is taken, yeah. Go to the bar.
Once she walks out of sight, it's like the place goes back alive. You see 4 other performers walk up onto the stage, and they begin playing a light jig. It's strange and discordant. This is not the happy, high-energy tavern music that you guys have heard before. You have trouble tapping your foot to it, as the timing structure of this music is so weird. And you see a lot of people there just kind of looking at it like...
Very consonant.
What was the name of the person we're
consonants.
looking for again?
What?
The name of the person we're looking for?
What you
Ever.
Kafars?
No, the one
The
here.
dust cart lady.
Right? As I
Kern
in the woods.
Everfire?
No,
Oh,
the other one.
Old
Corrine
metal
Dustcart?
Uh-huh. So, once the music starts up and everything begins to happen again, after a few moments, after the bartender begins to fill up a bunch of trays, you get a good look at this bartender. It's a strange sight, as it appears to be a bearded devil, a creature that you have seen before and read about. And seeing it in this position, fulfilling this duty, is very, very odd. And after it fills up a few trays, it turns to you. What do you want?
I look around to see how many of my party are with me. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know this man.
He, 4. ale. And then he just reaches over to the bar. You see some tables, he passes a strange, thick, kind of brackish-looking brew to. He turns to a keg and begins pouring it. As you look around, you see a lot of the stuff that's coming out of this keg is going to tables of the humans, the dwarves, the other non-extraplanar creatures. The other extraplanar creatures appear to be getting this brackish kind of fluid.
I got something that won't kill us this time.
As
Recognize you.
as he pushes 4 brews in front of you, 4 platinum.
Hi, this better be expensive stuff. But tasty stuff.
You're not from around here. And he grabs the 4 coins, kind of smiles at you. Good luck. And goes back to doing the rest of his business. As you step down, you kind of see him turn away and begin filling other orders as you make your way down the stairs. As he turns away holding 4 beer mugs in his hand.
Go to the bartender.
He ignores you for 30 seconds or so as he takes care of other orders, then turns to you. What?
I'm looking for someone. Someone, Corinne Duscott, I believe is the name.
Wait an hour. Shall we spend some time freshening up after a performance?
That is Corinne then.
That's what that would mean, yes.
Well, I'm just making sure. What do you have to drink that's palatable to...
He reaches over and he pours some ale and puts in front of you.
Never
Platinum
mind.
piece.
I don't fancy it. It's good though. Thank you.
Takes it, puts it on another tray. The amount of money being thrown around in this place, you guys begin to see just how much this place must make. Simple drink being a platinum, that's 10 gold pieces for a mug of whatever brew this is.
Needless to say, Throck is debating abandoning everything to set up shop.
We can make
So
some
that's a
money
lot
over
of
here.
money for a craftsman who has divine inspired works.
So, is this the place we were looking for, or did we get needlessly distracted?
Yeah, we're in the right place.
Okay, then.
We sit in an hour, she'll be down.
Okay.
Okay.
Throck
Is
doesn't really
there
drink, but he does throw platinum for
Is there like
fancy
a-
shit.
Oh, the only thing he offers you is what he has.
Which
is
is
there like
fancier
a-
than what he's used to, but Throck has been beaten on his
Uh-huh.
ass.
No, it's just ale.
Oh, it's just saying.
Throck has been beaten on his ass. He quit drinking after his friend died.
But you need a drink, yeah. Kind of
Yeah,
need a drink.
It's been a long week.
You instantly recognize this. This is Dwarven Ale. This is brewed in Chrono Peak. You actually know the family that makes it.
Thundergut?
Roger, we know the people who made this.
I don't. She didn't call me Thundergut, so I pay her no attention.
Okay.
Thunder nuts. She's talking to you.
No, she's talking to someone else.
Thundergut.
Yes.
We know the family who makes this. They're
Okay.
the ones that live like those 3 mansions down.
Okay. I look around. Do I see dwarves?
You actually see 2 dwarves, but they have strange, more pallid gray skin.
Oh,
Dear God.
I wouldn't say that. The Thundergut doesn't say that. He's gonna keep the group safe. He's not going to get the group in trouble.
After the performance, it seems like a lot of people have cleared out of this place. About 3/4 of the people have filtered out. There's 2 tables now that are free, that have no one sitting at them. If you all want to grab yourselves a seat.
Find a chair with a view to the stairs.
Every place in here has a view to the stairs.
So like
Take
a
out
tavern
a
manager.
handkerchief, wipe the table down a bit, wipe the chair down a bit. Sit.
Okay.
Look, you got to be such a press.
I know there's a bartender and
Why do you
servers,
have to
but
be
there's
such an
like
idiot?
Why
a
does it have to
tavern
be such a
manager.
fucking press? He's always
You don't
fucking
see
stuff.
one. The only person that you see is the bearded devil behind the bar, and the barmaids. Though there appear to be 4 of them, and they're all different races, and they all have very panicked, stressed looks upon their faces.
Just in general, or focused at us?
Just in general.
I asked one of the barmaids, what's the name of this place?
Oh, honey, this is the desert's oasis.
Oh, okay. Is there any rooms for rent?
I think so, but I'm sorry, I have to do this. They don't like us talking to the people too much. Can I get you another order, or?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back. Let me deliver these. And she goes about, and
Another.
after a few moments, about a minute or so, she comes back with more brews for your table and hands each one out to you and holds the tray forward so you all can pay for them.
I'll put down the four platinum.
I'll
Okay.
leave the brew on the tray,
I'll take that.
pull a wine glass out of my bag of holding and pour myself a glass of wine.
Okay.
Swirl it, sniff.
So 5.
5 platinum. As she begins flitting around to other customers, filling more orders, that music makes it really hard to get comfortable here and relax. It grates against the nerves.
I haven't been comfortable since we entered the city.
That's very true, but even kind of more so, well, it's getting much cooler. It's around 60 degrees at this point. The music just puts you on edge. Though you see the immortals kicking back and listening to it, they seem to be completely unaffected by the sounds. And you see, you are some of the only non extraplanar creatures here currently.
Just waiting for.
I hear this is what the kids like these days.
The ale is very good. Go ahead and roll me your perception check, please.
Well, now that everyone's gone. No, that's all right. That's 22.
Okay, so
Oh, nice.
during the performance, you tried to look around and keep an eye on people, but your perception was constantly drawn over to her as that playing with. She is so beautiful, but the music was so much more so that it just captured your attention. But as soon as the song ends and you feel that kind of wave of energy just kind of leave your body, you begin looking around. You see there are quite a few different characters here. You have a couple of the gray-skinned dwarves who sit at a table over here on the other side of the stage. The large table in the middle is occupied by 3 figures. 2 of them are of a kind of sea foam green skin, large white leathery wing or white feathered wings protruding from their back. Another paler woman wearing a black dress that hangs from her frame, accentuating her figure more than concealing it, with blonde hair that seems to cascade down her shoulders. She holds one of these drinks and sips it gingerly as she speaks in hushed tones to the other 2 creatures by them. You, for the first time, get your first look at one of your own people here. As you look over to your left and you see the crowd of people beginning to disperse, for a moment your eyes connect with another Kinku within the crowd, just watching. Doesn't seem to be looking directly at you until it has that moment of feeling someone looking at it and your eyes lock for a moment. And when it does, standing in the shadows of an eave of a building across the street, you see it just... There are several other patrons within this place. There appear to be a few demons. One of them is covered completely in chains that doesn't drink or eat anything, but seems to speak to another creature that appears to be entirely composed of shadow. Not like the winged shadow demons that you all fought upon the bridge, but much larger, much more, has a greater physicality, even though it's only made of condensed shadows.
You would say it's held there almost by the chains, probably.
No, it's 2 different demons.
No, it's 2 different demons. Yeah, the demon who's just, it looks almost like it's nothing but a pile of chains with bits of flesh that you can see of its arms and its legs, but it's covered in chains. And the chains kind of writhe a bit as it sits there moving. Waiting well past an hour, as you begin to grow steadily impatient, the music finally dies out as the performers leave the stage, begin taking a break and having a drink of their own.
I'm going to imitate his voice.
And say what?
A chicken go poof. Point to where I saw the kenku.
Hold on, let me do it better. We'll see how chicken will poo.
So,
Imitation is a pale form of flattery, but I accept this. Not all of us can be as handsome as I am.
Including yourself.
What does it take to talk to the lady? Actually, I'm just going to roll for a, what would a seduction be? Because Thorok has been out in the woods for a long time with a bunch of old dudes.
to talk to which lady?
To the pale-skinned chick in the gothic dress.
Oh, God.
Oh, she's not currently here yet, but we're getting to that.
No, the one at
Referring
the
to the
table.
one that's at the table.
Oh, the one that's surrounded by
The blonde.
the two 8 foot tall, seafoam green skinned
Yeah,
feather. So you get up and you walk over to her.
yeah. It's a big
Well,
persuasion,
this will
right?
be interesting.
As you walk up, and she is breathtakingly beautiful in a strange kind of way.
But I'm
It's
jacked as shit.
it's a strange, otherworldly kind of beauty. It's not like the woman who was singing. That was just straight out like
It
that's
didn't tickle my fancy.
that was straight perfection in the female physical form. This one, while beautiful, there's some kind of off-putting sense to her when she looks at you with her straight golden eyes. She looks, as you approach, she kind of looks up at you.
No,
Hello, my name is Thraka. I'm new here. Maybe you could show me a place to sleep. I'm a half-orc. I'm not very subtle. However, I'm a samurai.
The very big entity next to her looks up at you, and in a voice you hear inside your mind, its lips don't move, it's statuesque in looks, has no physical covering over its frame, so you can see the giant physicality of its form. The voice inside your mind is pure. It hurts a bit as it echoes inside your head of, "This is not the place, my friend. Speak to the barman."
Since
I'm
his
gonna.
words hurt my brain, and me being a cleric, I know when words hurt my brain, I know to leave.
Roll me a religion check.
Okay.
I will.
Can I?
19 plus 1 is 20?
You know these two creatures are called devas. They are angels. Though you're not sure, there are several different deities within the sovereign host that have devas as as part of their retinue, as part of their followers, their creations. The other one, you're not entirely sure what she is, but she definitely gives off a very strong celestial sense. It's almost as if the air around her shimmers, almost like there's heat coming off of her.
Thraka's never put in crazy, and Thraka's never put in divine, so Thraka's gonna back off.
It's about this time as Thraka turns around and begins heading his way sheepishly back to his table, as you hear footsteps coming down the stairs. And standing at the second landing, surveying the desert's oasis, you see the lithe form of Corrine Dustcart, wearing a red satin dress of very fine make with gold filigree etched about it. She has none of the jewelry on that she had before, and she appears to have been freshly bathed, as her hair still appears to be slightly wet after her bathing after her performance. That is actually where we're going to go ahead and take our quick break. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes or so. Again, I'd like to thank Military Gamer Supply for putting on the stream for us, and I hope you guys like the created terrain. The amphitheater that they're currently sending in was a one-day build. Realized I needed something for this and just kind of threw it together. So hope you guys enjoy it. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes.
Lights off, folks.
I see a little.
Two, one. And thank you all for sticking with us through the break. We're back. So, picking it back up where we left off, the lady Corinne Duskhart had just descended the staircase, looking as ravishing as ever in her red satin gown with gold filigree upon it. Her beautiful blue eyes scanning the crowd and falling upon the group sitting at the table. She flashes you all a very white smile as she makes her way down the stairs and slowly begins walking towards your table. Her hand landing upon the shoulder of one of the devas. As it looks over at her, she lets it trail off just a bit, and her fingertips just kind of caressing against it as she walks through the much lighter crowd than it was before, takes the last open seat at your table, sits down.
I'll stand up and pull a chair out for her.
She, thank you, sits down, reclines a bit, and looks you all over one at a time.
I take the mask off.
My Lady Corinne, honestly, I must say, I've seen many incredible things, from the sunsets of Zala to the pyramids of Olmu, the spire of Shalis Tirleth. All these things pale in comparison to you.
I would hope so. You're comparing me to old ancient things.
But timeless in their beauty, such as you.
Fair enough. I hear rumors that you all seek my counsel.
But of course,
Not in the city less than a day and already running afoul of a few brigands. But
well,
you seem relatively unscathed from what I've heard.
they fell before my wit.
They wanted to take our stuff.
That is what brigands tend to do, yes. She reaches over and pats your hand. Just the touch of her skin, it's incredibly warm. And you kind of blush a bit as...
Even through the gauntlet?
Even through the gauntlet.
Wow.
And you kind of blush a bit and feel the heat rise in your cheeks and kind of
And I
bury your
said-
face in your...
And I was like, probably uncontrollably, I was like, I'd love to cook you a meal.
And she
love this one. Yeah, thanks.
smiles at you without a trace of any kind of sarcastic wit or anything like that. It seems a very genuine smile. Just, maybe one day.
Forgive my friend Rothman. He is rather obtuse, but very loyal.
Nothing to forgive. Why seek you me within Maruk Dar?
An old elf told us that speaking to you may in fact further our goals.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
And we need a room also.
Well,
This is
I may
something
own
below
this
her.
establishment, but you may speak to my man there. And she points at the bearded devil as he's got his hands on the bar and is almost leaning over the bar, just staring at your all's conversation. You can see, for the first time, the beard on his face kind of roiling a bit, almost in anger, as it's moving as he just stares daggers at all of you. You may speak to my man after we've had a conversation. I think we have a few rooms available for accommodation this night.
You all can talk. I'm going to talk to the gentleman at the bar.
So you get up and just
I'm
walk
like,
away.
Nope, I'm not dealing with my brother flirting with anyone.
She walks very intently as Triswin walks away.
Can I put this on speaker transport?
A pity. You know it's only your own voice that goes through. As she kind of tears her eyes away from Triswin, as she makes it to the bar and looks at each of you. So, how can I be of assistance today?
We wish to locate a certain demon.
Oh, well, there are a great many demons within this place. You'll need to be a little more specific.
This would be the one in charge of this place.
Oh, wow, that is a very tall order. Why would you seek him?
We have business with him.
Well, if you have business with him, then, I mean, he would obviously already know where he is.
He does not know that we have business with him.
Oh, I see. I see. And what makes you think I'm going to help you in that endeavor and not simply tell him of your interest in him?
Well, to be honest, as far as our fancy friend here is concerned, if he comes to us, he's happy. If we go to him, he's happy. But in the end, we just need to make contact.
Then what is it I can do to assist in this
If you
endeavor?
could tell us where he is, that would be very
Oh,
helpful.
well, I in fact know exactly where he is, but this is a great boon to the quest that you are on, correct?
Hey.
You need to find this demon and have your business with him, correct?
Well, I wouldn't say a great one, but it would be quite useful.
Oh, well, it appears to me as if the crux of your quest turns upon my knowledge. I think that assertion is well warranted. I mean, you obviously wouldn't be here if you already knew where the demon was.
Well,
Yes.
Can I roll an insight check on this person?
Go ahead.
I'll roll one.
What are you trying to ascertain?
Good person, chaotic person, evil person,
So you're trying to get a feel for...
like...
her personality.
Basically, I want to get a feeling for, okay, you know, do I get a bad feeling about this?
Okay.
Get it?
Gonna roll insight?
I'll roll one as well, just to see if she's more straight up or not.
Go ahead.
More orc thinking, not is she good or evil, is she straight up or not?
Is she being
alive?
honest with you?
Go ahead.
You know, if that makes sense.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
18.
You are trying to watch her mannerisms and trying to ascertain whether or not she's on the level. And your eyes keep training down to her gown, which is open a little more than what you had originally thought, revealing a little more of her perfect flesh. And several times you have to catch yourself and pay attention to what she's actually saying, but then the eyes kind of go down. And while you're listening to the conversation, you look over at Rotmir and you follow his eye line, and the same thing is... After a few seconds, you realize, oh, I'm staring. Okay, so you kind of look away, then look back and try to pay attention to what she says, and your eyes just kind of go down. And
So what you're saying in a nutshell for people watching, he's watching eye level, and then I'm watching him go down to his eye level.
oh, you watch his eye level go down. You kind of follow it and realize that's a lot of skin showing. That's just great. That's just wait. I need to be listening to what she's saying. Hold on a second. And then your eyes kind of fall down again, and oh, okay. Blood's running a little hot. I mean, at this point, you're barely even. You can barely even pay attention to what she's saying.
That's not my job.
It's been a lot of time with a bunch of dudes and a bunch of trees.
Oh, you both have. Yeah, I mean, he spends a lot of time with a bunch of dudes and his sister, so it's kind of the same thing.
Well, to be honest, you weren't the only name on our list, but you were the most
Prominent?
appetizing of the prospects.
That is not the first time I've been called appetizing before.
I doubt if it'll be the last either.
So, then let's lay all of our cards upon the table, shall we?
Please, I prefer honesty in all
And
things.
she reaches up her hand and she snaps her fingers. When she does, everything around you, about 5 feet from the table, suddenly becomes very hazy, almost like it's distorted and out of phase with the rest of with what's inside the bubble.
Including me?
No, you turn back and see, and you can't see them now. There's like a dome around them, and while you can see their forms, it's almost like static. It's
Go into silence.
he just looks at you.
Sanctuary.
Very, very not well disguised, utter hatred of you. Though he doesn't seem to be attacking you or anything like that, just the disdain in his face is palpable.
Look back at him the same way.
Oh yeah.
Look at me like that.
I think
She lowers her hand.
Thunder got startled at this.
Oh, you all are startled at this. This is something that you haven't seen before.
Not
I
startled
jump
by
and the chair
anything.
goes.
As you kind of she waits for you to pick yourself back up and sit back in your seat after going ass over tea kettle. She kind of smiles at that, then looks at you all and, that'll give us a modicum of protection from anyone attempting to overhear our conversation. As I said, let us put our cards on the table.
Eavesdropping is a nuisance.
You need the location of Yugilnock. I have the location of Yugilnock. How can you assist me?
I can bless the veil out of it.
It does not interest me.
So what does interest you?
Well, there's a great many things that interest me. I do quite a bit of work with various immortals, and they offer me a great many things. I am what you would say a purveyor of whispers. Information within Maruk Dar is one of the most powerful things you can come across. And I have a great deal of that information. You wish to have some of this, you can offer something of equal trade in return. And this is a great thing. So what you offer in return must be of equally great value.
What do you seek?
Well, for something such as this, there are 2 things you all may yet do for me. The first, I owe a man a small favor, and I would prefer to not have that favor owed anymore. If you were to graciously step into my place and fulfill whatever paltry request he has, that would go very far in procuring the rest of the information that you seek. The other bit of information, well, how about we speak of that after the first
So you wish
discussion?
2 things for one thing. This seems rather unbalanced.
2 things that equal the value of the one.
Define small favor.
Oh, I know not. He is a mercutial fellow, and I know not of what favor he will ask.
What is the
I know it
favor owed
cannot
to?
be anything too great. I owe a favor to a little man, referred to as the Everfire.
Ah,
If you were to do a favor for him, that would go a long way in convincing me to assist you.
then we will find him straight away. If you would direct us.
I can offer you assistance in finding him, but do we have an accord? Do we have a deal?
Depending on the second thing.
Oh, the second thing will be discussed after the first. I need to see exactly how you can accomplish whatever task he asks you of before I ask for my own.
So we're on probation.
That is a good word for it.
I'm a little concerned about the nature of the second thing, though. There's certain things that I don't like to do.
Well, you reside within the city of Maruk Dar, seeking to make deals and find information. I suggest you leave your petty moralities behind you.
I was afraid of that.
You have to decide whether or not your quest is worth you getting your hands a bit on the dirty side.
Well, as long as it's for the greater good.
We don't tell Tristan.
Aye.
Agreed?
Agreed. You might have to keep this from your sister. You know how she is.
I don't really talk to her anyway.
Very well.
Fair enough.
We shall find the Everfire.
Ma'am, with all due respect, how do we, since we're making a contract here, of all things, how do we have, if we go do what you need to have taken care of for you, do we have proof that you will still be here, or that you will honor your side, and you won't run?
Absolutely none.
Then would you mind signing a contract, since we're doing a contract?
Oh, if you wish to make a contract with me, we can enter into a deal, but you may not like what that
We are quite
entails.
good without the contract. We will just exchange favors. Shut your mouth.
And keep in mind where you're
Yeah,
at.
she screws us over. Rocky goes to the bar to get a beer.
Oh, you stand up, turn around, and you have this wall of static around you. He goes, but a moment more, please.
I think we're in agreement then.
Do I have your word? This is very simple. You simply say you will do it, and I will believe you.
Aye.
I will take you on faith, something you know quite a bit about, that you will complete the task. And should you complete the task, then we can move on to the next. And if you don't, or if you die in the trying, then it is no skin off my back.
Simply then, since you know who I am, or at least what I am, I give you my word if you give me your word.
I give you my word that should you complete the task, I will be here as I have been for a very long time in order to give you the next task.
That's fine enough for me.
Aye, you have my word.
And what about your beautiful friend at the bar?
She will help us when we ask.
You offer her word for her?
We do not offer her word, but she will help us.
Then I will get it from her. And she snaps her fingers again, the static wall fading away. She immediately stands up, turns on her heel, and walks straight towards Tristan,
The bearded devil and myself are like.
just staring at each other.
I can see the spark.
Well, he got an order while you were there, standing at the bar,
Are we still just,
and
like,
he's
glaring
just
at
staring
each
at you
other?
the whole time as he's filling up cups, just staring.
Just like.
Then puts it down and lets it go away, and just staring at you with a
She's
sneer
got
on
her,
his
like,
face.
arm on the bar. Like,
Your skin suddenly grows warm, and you feel a tingle go to
no,
and a tingle cascade down your back as her hand falls upon your shoulder. You turn to her, and she gets uncomfortably close to you. Do you offer your word as your friends have said?
Wait, what are we doing?
A favor for a favor.
Just say yes to us one.
Do you offer your word?
I don't know what we're doing. How am I going to say yes if I don't know what we're doing?
We're just helping her out, so she'll help us out.
You're doing a favor for someone who I owe a favor in my stead. Do I have your word you will accomplish this task?
How we find how we find what we need to find to help the chicken.
For Arnos, then yes. Yeah, my word. That-
Good. She leans forward faster than you believe she could and gives you a peck on the lips.
I'm married.
And she smiles when you say that. She goes, a deal sealed with a kiss is customary. Then you go, please, as a way of compensation, she completely ignores you. As way of compensation, I will comp your rooms for the night. You may stay here, catch your rest, and come the morning, I will give you directions on how you can reach the Everfire and speak with him. Of course, it is, and she looks over at the angel sitting at the table, not too far away. I believe your tight lips you will not be too conspicuous on this matter, correct?
Right.
I have
Good.
no idea of what you speak of.
I'm very glad to hear it. Now I take my leave. You all have yourselves a wonderful night. And let my friend know. And when she looks over at the bearded devil, the devil looks at her and smiles. And it's very odd to see a devil legitimately smile at her. It still comes off as wretched and lascivious in nature. But he does so. Then turns back and looks at all of you. Should you require any further company, simply let him know, and it shall be provided for you. Again, the service tonight will be on me. Enjoy your stay at the oasis of the desert.
She's still uncomfortably close.
No, she stepped away from you at that point. She turns around and then walks up the stairs slowly. Every eye in the
I've
place
always wanted a
that's,
tiefling.
especially Rotmir and Thraka, follow her until she disappears.
Well, I don't wish to eat stew in the presence of steak. However, just will wish some company.
What?
Just to figure out what it is.
What is?
The bearded devil looks at each of you, and he places 6 keys upon the bar.
Take a key and head up to the room.
Let me have one of those drinks that everyone else has. You know, not the one from the keg.
Yeah,
No.
He looks at you.
No.
That's not for you.
Oh, why of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
So instead, since I haven't caught up with him in a while, I've already drank a little bit, and I'm tired.
You already had a little loose lip?
The thing is, I'm going to buy him a drink because I haven't seen him in probably about 10 years from the way he's
No, well, you saw him about 6 months ago, but not for very long. Yeah.
The woods.
It was-
So I offered to buy him a beer, and I kind of like just, since I'm much bigger than him, I just kind of like sit him down and push him in front of him to talk about old times. Like out of character, I'm keeping like him out of trouble or whatever with his favorite treat, and then also catching up on what has happened to him. Because even though people have told tales,
Yeah.
you know, haven't caught up as former comrades.
So Perry, what do you tell him?
I tell him about
Well, tell him.
the journey so far.
Um,
I don't mention the seals just yet.
the walls have ears.
Of course there was.
Well, so what do you tell him?
It's been a long time. You should have seen some of the places that we've been.
I've seen a lot of the forest, friend, but
Yeah.
even though you got on my nerves early on, I'm glad to see that you made it alive.
Hey, I'm glad to see you again myself. And here isn't the best of place to talk about some of those stories, but
Not all the stories, but I figured we'd have a beer and appreciate the fact that we're still alive.
some of us got a little closer to death than others. A few too many times.
But they've kept you alive, so I can trust them, right?
Mostly. Oh, them, yes, yeah. They've kept me alive very well.
Fair enough.
And actually, I've probably done more of keeping them alive than vice versa, but yeah, I don't count.
I also bring
Flynn's
up
gonna hike his pants up.
and hushed whisper, you know, about the friend,
What?
you know, that passed away. You know, and I'm just like, I haven't had a drink.
You knew of him. You didn't know the guy personally, but you knew of him.
I haven't had a drink since he died. He's been out with everything going on. So
Oh, sorry for your...
stop running away because you're the only thing I have left at home here.
Well, you'll be seeing me a whole lot more lately.
All I'm asking is before you go off and run to get drunk, at least let me have your back. That's how we did it back home.
Well, I thought you did.
Well, you kept running before I could do it. At least let me know first.
Have you gotten slow in your old age?
Well, I've been in front of a fort for a long time. And there's not a long way to run in the woods for the demons, so give an old man a chance to catch up.
I'll keep that in mind next time. I'll make sure that you're behind me first.
Good. And I push another drink to him and I throw the money on the thing. Because money's not really an issue, what I can fabricate it.
Once I'm up to the room and I secure the doors and the windows, and get on sending stone that he doesn't have.
He doesn't have it.
Unless, of course, one
Nope.
of the other two handed theirs over.
No.
No,
No.
Right.
Well,
not yet.
they wouldn't have handed it to him. They would have handed it to us, maybe.
Eh.
I haven't got anything from him.
Yeah, Yugilnock most likely knows we're here. At least that I am here.
Most likely.
Does that have to do with the thing that
Yes.
Flynn said about the chicken?
No, real quick.
The thing that I said about the chicken.
As you're heading up to your room to lock it in, you pass by several rooms. Your all rooms are, each of them are on the 3rd floor. The rooms that you pass have sounds that you become very familiar with, and you realize not that this place is a board house,
Nope.
more of a brothel.
300 gold pieces for a night? That sounds steep.
But you can lock up your room and send a message that you all hear, and while you're having a drink with him that overtakes, you see him stop for a moment and then just kind of and go back to the conversation with you. Seems odd for a moment, but Perry's an odd dude.
So since we're here for the night, I'm guessing for a long rest.
Oh yeah, you guys would be taking a long rest.
I offer, as a friend, to teach him, also get his help. So would I be able to finish armor tonight? If he does?
Well, the armor's in the.
Oh, so
I'm not opening the door.
I'll turn to the bearded devil after that. Something exotic in my room tonight might be interesting.
As you wish.
Well, thank you.
Compliments of the lady.
Might as well try it since it's free.
Anyone else partake of the company?
yeah, fuck it.
So it's been a long time.
It's like the joke about Tarzan. Like, before he met Jane, did he like
Did he bang apes? Yeah.
or trees?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Except Rocka didn't because he had more decency than trees.
A little bit.
Enough to not.
Enough to not. Enough to not fucking not. Okay, got it.
Raka lonely.
Rocka been in front of 40
So it's Perry and Thraka, that's it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still going, what is
I'll get the
company? What
bearded
is
devil
company?
to send some company up to Tristwan's
No,
room too.
my God.
So he's
Okay.
gonna be alone. He's gonna wake up like Tony Stark whenever he woke up tied to a Sherlock Holmes.
When you get to your room,
You know what? My good man. She is married, so you knows the pain and suffering she goes through. Something nice for her, perhaps?
do you
Some,
have an idea in mind of...
something exotic and dominant, because she's usually the one that wears the pants in the relationship.
I am wearing the hat. Also,
You think the
I think I have something for that.
Excellent. I appreciate this. I hear you like gems here. Pull out a topaz, and this appears to be something that might be useful to you.
He takes it and then slides it down to one of the serving girls, and she picks it up and, thank you, master, thank you. And she stuffs it into her bodice.
Well, I'm off to sleep. It's been a long day. I appreciate it.
So, in the middle of the night, you get to your room and you're exhausted. You strip down out of your armor, you begin washing the grime off of you. It's incredibly cool in the rooms. The rooms are, they're arched, they have archways kind of like the rest of the building does, but they do have closing portals that you can close and you can bar, or you can have some privacy. You do find yourself pulling the curtains down on every single window of this place, which there are many, so that way you can undress in peace and get yourself cleaned up.
I'll leave the windows open.
You pass several people who didn't have the same level of shame as you do, and they are doing a myriad of things that... Brothel is a loose term here, and it doesn't necessarily mean sex. They're demons and devils, and you can only imagine the
Depravity.
treats that demons and devils want from a brothel. And you have to stop yourself from looking through into several of these windows, especially from the noises that emanate from within. As you are finally climbing into bed, and this is a nice feather bed. So this is a welcome respite from the cold, hard ground of the labyrinth of the last couple of nights. As you climb into bed, you hear a gentle rapping upon your door.
this better be important.
Well,
Put the hat back
special
on.
delivery.
Put the hat back on and kind of wrap myself a bit, even though I know I've changed the times, and open it a bit.
So as you open the door, I need a strength check from you,
Oh.
please.
I'm so killing you.
Unless I give you a bit
Dead.
line.
Oh gosh. Like a strength saving throw? Or
No,
just-
strength check.
So +4, right?
What's your strength modifier? Okay, then roll.
That's a 15.
15. I rolled a natural 5.
Yes.
So this thing, you open the door and all you see is a shape outside the door. Very dark. There's no light out here. It's just a shape that's darker than the night around it. And it puts a hand on the door and goes to push in. And as it does, you just stop the door. You just put your foot behind the door and press into it. And it pushes and tries to push again.
What are you doing?
You called for company.
I did not call for company.
And you said you wanted me to be really dominant. So I don't know how I'm supposed to be dominant if you're just going to stop me.
No. Go. 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 Go.
I'm booked
Just
for the
no,
night,
No.
so no one else is going to book me. I have to eat.
Wait right
Can-
here. I swear to God, you come. I swear to God, you come into my room. I will punch you and rip off your dick.
Do I
Yeah.
hear?
Hey, now you can get now that your eyes have adjusted to the darkness, you can see it is a very tall dragonborn. And
poor
you see him if you can see a dragonborn quiver as you present that threat, he just kind of like shrinks a bit. And
Jake.
Can I hear this? Can I do a perception check?
with disadvantage.
Maybe you can just cuddle. It's a dragonborn.
I'm
Come on.
not cuddling
A
with
2
it.
and a 2.
No, yeah, you're thinking
heart.
you're thinking of Corrine as you go get into bed, and you have very good dreams that night. Well, you're more up on dwarf women. You like a woman with a nice bit of facial hair to hang on to. If you were to go with anyone besides the dwarf that you met within Kornberg, Corrine might have a shot with you. So you do not hear this exchange as.
Does anyone else hear this
I'm
exchange?
No, we'll keep this between us as he's kind of stands there, his knees almost knocking together.
I kind of get dressed a little more and then we like.
Well, you're covered by the hat.
Okay, but so. And then open it again, like just you may come in and you can sleep on the floor. I'm not gonna deny you food.
Uh,
Don't touch me.
Thank you, milady. And he kind of comes in and
wearing a hat.
very awkwardly, which he thinks is weird because he was told it was a female, but he's told the room number, and he just kind of gives you a strange look, and he's not one to judge, you know. He's got to eat just like anybody else does, right?
As she sits on the bed, you need pillows or something.
That'd be great.
Does any part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show
do you-
soundtrack start playing?
Do you want? I mean, while you may not want to do that, like we could talk or we could cuddle. I mean, I do.
Like I cuddle.
I can't tell. You just look really angry. I give really good massages. Yes. I do give very good massages. I even clip my nails, and he puts his hands out, and you can see the clawed fingers of a dragonborn had been blunted. Now, looking at him in the light of your room, you can see where the dragonborn that you've met.
No.
The caravan,
Yeah.
like the cook and the caravan guard that you met, they were very scarred and their scales were weathered. This guy's scales look unblemished. They are almost perfect. They're just a very soft red hue. His hands look like they've never seen a real day's work, and he is covered in nothing but a loincloth.
Be nice to the pretty boy.
Though he did carry, which you heard it hit the ground when you threatened to rip his penis off, and he did not enter the room with it, but was a bag that when it hit the ground, several whips and other items fell out of the bag, but have been left outside with the idea of you destroying his genitalia.
Why would you do that?
So, would you like...
He's just doing his job.
Look, I know that this is a weird misunderstanding, but they told me this room, and they told me you wanted to be down.
Who
But,
told you?
my boss?
Who told you lies? What did they look like?
I have no idea. Please don't be angry with me. Don't hurt me. I just do what I'm told. My boss is a fucking demon.
Sure he did.
Well, a devil. I mean, the same thing. Like,
Okay, if I let you touch me, just to massage, or I rip it off.
you can stop saying that. Like, if you say that again, I'm gonna piss myself. Can you just stop threatening my junk?
You are sworn to secrecy. You cannot say a word about what you see right now.
Sir, I am very... Ma'am, I didn't mean to assume your gender. I am well versed at dealing with issues such as these. I'm not loose-lipped.
You better not be, because this is.
I know the junk tearing. Yes. You have my word.
All right, and then carefully she just kind of like watches him, and then carefully takes off the hat. So watching him and then looks.
And his eyes kind of go wide, and then he kind of smiles a bit, just like, well, not to be crude, but a vast improvement. You realize, in the heat of the night, you decided that you wish to sleep with as little covering as possible. Putting on the hat gave you the appearance of a fully clothed gentleman. You are now no longer the visage of a... You just kind of cover your nipples and just kind of... And he just kind of... You lay on the bed, and he very professionally gives you a very good massage. It relaxes you. It's not one that you've had since your time in Regalport with your husband. So it turns from a very tense and stressful situation to very nice. He does a very good job. He doesn't seek to push the boundaries and understands under threat of junk tearing that you simply want a massage. And he delivers. He's actually very good. After you're nice and relaxed, you get to sleep for the rest of the night.
No, before that, I'll tell him. If you want a career change, just because I get that this could be demeaning. If you ever want a career change, please go to Regalport.
You're very, very
and
nice.
I will hire you as our personal masseuse.
I don't.
You'll stay in our castle.
I don't know. You think I'm a slave? I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh.
But they kind of own me and tell me what to do, and if I don't do it or try to leave, they'll kill my family?
How do I get you out from being a slave?
I
don't know. We don't have them, alright?
Well, you would pretty much have to kill Lady Corinne, who owns me. But I wouldn't suggest doing that. I guess you could, if she was willing to sell.
What's your name?
My name is Gex.
Gex.
I am one of her top earners, but I mean, if you wish to buy my service, I mean, it would be nice to just simply massage people and not have to do other things. Sometimes after one of these nights, it takes 3 days of recovery for me to be able to walk again.
Hey.
Well, most of our clientele are not like you.
Sorry, I'm trying to rip your junk off.
I appreciate the apology. I gotta say, I'll call up the maid because I threatened that I would piss myself, but I kind of already did. But thank you. I'll go to sleep now if that's okay.
Did you want her to stay here?
On the floor.
No, you can sleep in the bed. Just don't touch her.
Thank you. And he very awkwardly, like head to toe sleeping, like your junk is still lined up, but you can't lock in, so you feel better, but it also feel better like it's like pushing around a freshman in high school. Like this guy just has no idea. He was not prepared. He was not prepared.
You're a horrible person.
The two of you, and we'll try to speed this along a bit, but the two of you individually each have Hira rapping at your door.
You have a very good time.
I'm going to describe what happens to you both because it's a very similar
Well, we're in
situation.
the same room because we've been drinking.
No, separate rooms.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
there
don't
were
wanna
6
be in the
keys.
same
Separate the
Unless
rooms.
you want to sleep together, because it's only a single bed per room.
Well, I'll assume that there was going to be company.
Yes, the company wraps up on your door.
You do know how the military works.
Yes, but this is different.
Okay.
This is company.
As you guys open your door, you are greeted with a woman in very heavy, looks almost to be wool cloak, where you can see nothing. As they ask in a strange, almost kind of disseminated voice, almost like 10 voices in one, all vying for your ears. She asks if she can enter the room.
Aye.
She walks in, stands at the foot of the bed, and looks. The hood light kind of comes up, but you see it's dark, and you can barely make out the accentuated face of. Seems to be female, but you can't quite tell race. And she asks, "What is your preference?"
Seemingly in one stroke, my clothes just come off.
You're just like Bruce Almighty, and bam, you know.
Let's begin.
You hear a chuckle, and everyone shoots. What is your preference in your partner? Do you prefer a man or a woman?
A woman.
Do you like your woman to be on the larger side? Do you like a skinnier woman?
A slender woman is fine.
You go through a list of things as it seems like she's trying to get you to tell you what your preference is.
A well-bit tiefling tonight would be perfect.
She nods. After a moment, she drops the cloak, and a white-skinned tiefling, alabaster white, stands in front of you, tail, horns and all, completely naked and ready for your evening's fun. She keeps pace with you and does the things that you ask, and makes you think you are the greatest lover she has ever had, and does it very convincingly.
Wow.
You
She's
are
got a
asked the
better
same
bluff
series
check
of
than I do.
questions. And your preference is?
Something that won't break on the stoneborn, if you know what I'm saying.
When she drops her cloak, you see a female Goliath.
She won't break. Off the bed.
Almost as tall as you, and just as he is. You have a fantastic night. She keeps pace with you, and you're like, I've been out of practice, but god damn, I am a natural born lover.
No, I'm not that confident. Just think. I
No.
got it in.
You're like, you vibrate for a few seconds and you're done, but she makes those few seconds the greatest she's ever had. And you believe it. Yeah, you believe it. You are free to have as much of the company, and they offer you massage, they offer you an
Just hold
ear.
1 second though. Everybody in the hotel hears Stoneborn!
The walls here are very thick, but you hear, during your thing, you hear Stoneborn screamed in the middle of the night.
I'm not gonna let him outdo me.
You guys have a very odd Battle of the Fiddles going on for a little while.
Mine's a cello, just so you know.
But your night passes. You all begin to realize, and you begin to realize, as well as the rest of you, why she seems to be so interested in secrets and why Civis mentioned that she, while just the owner of a brothel, appears to be in such a position that she is. That with the entertainment offered, you guys have to catch yourself several times from answering very probing questions that these women ask of you.
Yeah.
And I actually need both of you to roll me charisma saving throws, please.
Not me.
You intimidated the fuck out of him, so he doesn't ask you anything. He keeps it kind of quiet and awkward the entire time, which is fine for you.
17 plus 7 is 23.
24.
12.
12. She probes pretty deep, and you start talking about your life, and right as you go to mention your current quest, you just kind of, But she knows quite a bit about you.
Ow.
Just
And
give the one I'm with.
you see tears in her eyes as you tell her about your first true love. And it takes you a moment to realize that you just told this story to this person. And kind of blink a bit, and then and that's when it kind of dawns on you that, son of a bitch, no wonder Corrine is so powerful. The next morning greets you all with, yes.
I will have to make a Constitution save for fatigue because I did not sleep well at all.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, I did.
Flynn slept like a baby. He will chuckle, hum a certain ballad.
Okay, it's a
And then
1.
go to
That's
sleep.
a 1, but you have advantage because of Constitution. One of our table rules is any die that lands on the floor is a 1.
So that is a 20.
20 even?
20 even, not natural.
You know it's going to be harder. It's going to be hard to keep doing this, but you managed to get some sleep.
Yeah.
You get the benefit of a long rest. And speaking of the benefits of a long rest, pass it down to Sonia. Vince,
My pile.
Paul,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and Paul.
I'm
I
assuming
should probably
that.
roll it as well.
So
I'm going to be sleeping all that well.
go ahead and roll your Constitution saving throw with advantage.
I assume that Dick passes out
Nope.
sheer exhaustion.
Oh yes.
Nope.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 4 and a 5 plus 1.
So you have the first level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so the next morning greets you all. You all wake up because of the heat. Those of you with company are aroused just after dawn by your company leaving for the night. Or leaving for the day, I should say.
Oh no, I have mine stay with me because I'm like, alright, so we gotta go talk to them about you.
I do have to go tell him right now. My body's not made for being whipped. I don't like it.
Tell him that I wish to purchase you.
You're gonna have to tell him that. I don't talk to him. If I speak to him, he uses his beard on me, and that's not.
I'll be down with it.
Thank you. I appreciate your good night.
Nothing about that.
Again, you don't ever just assume your original threat did it. I don't ever. Yeah. Okay. As nice as you are, you're very scary.
Should see my husband.
You have a great night. And he kind of leaves very awkwardly, picking up his bag of goodies, and you see things you didn't want to see kind of roll out of it, and he kind of shoves it back in the bag, and you kind of roll me an intelligence check.
He didn't have to coax any information.
Vince is
He
pleased.
so much.
He's not gonna say anything. I thought we'd rip his dick off.
So I'm guessing with my save though, I gave her the hammer.
10 or 6, sorry.
6.
56.
You gave her your
okay.
battle hammer?
No, he
This is a weird kind of screw up, and at first you were pissed, but now you feel so relaxed and loose. You're just like, hey, you know what? Turned out to be a great night. No harm, no foul. Like, weird that the devil sent someone out to your room. They probably did that for everybody though.
Yeah.
You kind of justify it away. get ready for the day. The rest of you awaken.
Like a
Those, like I said,
nightmare,
those of
yeah.
you with company, your company will wake you just past dawn as the heat begins to rise. They cover themselves up with the wool. Yours that you noticed grew in height. You see her shrink back down to her original size, and she walks out the door without another word. Same as yours is about the same height, but you see the horns like shrink away as the cloak is over the head, and she walks out as well.
In my early morning haze, I attribute her diminished height to the weight of my hammer.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I feel good after last
downstairs?
night.
You all head downstairs.
Yeah.
When you do, you see there are already people here. You see Corinne is sitting at the bar. She has a tall glass of blood red wine that she sips and smiles and chit-chats with people as they move about. You see people move around her like she's a mountain in the middle of a lake, just flow around her. People speak to her for no more than a few seconds and then move on their way. But everyone she talks to, she flashes a brilliant smile. With men, she touches their shoulders. With women, she seems to get much closer to several of them, kissing on the cheeks or the lips, depending on which woman it is. They move about as she sees the first of you begin making your way, which the first one of you out on the day would probably be Arnos or Rotmir. Arnos, probably you, because you just, as soon as you feel the rays of the sun hit the window, you just kind of get up and just, you got a long rest, but you got the benefit of it, but you're exhausted. You kind of make your way down, and with the idea of maybe a breakfast, some kind of food in your belly to make you feel better. And when you see Corinne again sitting at the bar, your heart begins to beat faster, just as it did the previous night, just looking at her again. Today she wears leather breeches. She wears a blue blouse with the frills at the wrists. She's once again adorned with the rings and the necklaces and the earrings. Her hair is pulled back almost in a bun, but it looks like a messy bun where some of the hair is falling down.
So the rooster rose up early and now he's rising again, is what you're saying.
She salutes you a bit with her flute of whatever red liquid she is currently drinking, takes a sip, and begins speaking to others. There is a human at the bar this time of morning, as it's tattoos covering his face and his head. Almost every inch of him is tattooed. It seems as if he has the same pattern as a snake that has been tattooed over the backs of his hands, his arms, his head, his face, his neck. All of it is covered with that same design.
Yeah.
And as I hit my mic.
Yeah, all right.
Scales?
It looks like scales.
Yeah, it looks like snake scales. You approach the bar, and
You got it. I can't talk.
he kind of looks at you and, beer? He puts a beer on there, kind of gives you a look, reaches behind, grabs an egg, cracks it, and dumps the egg into the beer and pushes the beer forward. Hair of the dog that bit you. You in one gulp, and it does make you feel better. It's that bit of protein, bit of carbs. Kind of gets you going a bit in the morning. You feel a bit better, but you're definitely you're definitely still very tired, and you're kind of enjoying your drink and looking around as the rest of you slowly begin to filter down. Lady Corinne waits until the lot of you are within her bar room, and she beckons you all over with a wave of her flute.
For that, I need to see about purchasing the company I had last night.
Is that good, huh? Well, negotiations can be had. Everything is for sale, darling.
How much?
Well, you were so enchanted by him. Why don't you make me an offer?
100 platinum.
Yay.
Oh, my dear, he'd make me that in 2 weeks. I need a serious offer. Maybe some other means can be reached. I mean, I'm much more partial to favors than money.
What kind of favor?
Well, what kind of favor can you offer? A strapping paladin of Dolorala such as yourself?
Like the eyes like flare a bit.
Oh, paltry illusions won't do you much good here, Lady Triswin.
So it's basically useless that I'm wearing the hat.
Oh, you may fool people such as my good friend Ron here, and Ron just kind of as a human. But most of the creatures here would clearly see through such a simple illusion. You are in a place where secrets are not kept easily. I'm sorry? If Gex spoke any words of you, then I would have words of my own for him.
Alright, let's see what I have.
Well, how about you think about it? See what it's worth to you. A married woman having
That's not
someone of his abilities could keep you well entertained in
He's a good masseuse.
married life. Oh, however you like, however you prefer.
My vows very seriously.
Oh, well, you must, obviously. You're a paladin. Well, not all paladins are as devoted as you are, I must sadly say.
I come downstairs with the mask on.
You like it, don't you?
At this point, everybody's pretty much downstairs.
I'll
Let me think.
get some dwarven ale from Ron.
The human behind there, kind of like drawn back. Like it looks like he's tatted up, not because he wanted to look cool, but probably because he needed a more of a menacing presence than just some dude, just some human in a place like this having to deal with immortals constantly. Demons and devils and Yugilnock and other things like that. Or Ultraloths, sorry. He nods at you and passes beer and love the mask. Must make it hard to drink though.
Tharka raises his glass I do good work. Let me know if you need that pansy face covered up. Ha ha.
He kind of nods and keeps going to work. The atmosphere in this place is vastly different than it was last night. See more humans, more elves, more of the mortal races gracing this place.
Do you have any of that demon drink that's not quite so strong?
Well, I don't think you want to drink that, man.
I had some yesterday.
No.
From that, are you a religious man?
Oh, to myself?
Well, dude, that stuff's made with soul essence. Like, you drink it and you're destroying somebody's soul.
Oh.
I mean, it'd give you kind of a high, but honestly, I don't know how you could live with yourself knowing that.
Oh, shit.
Tharka slips down next to him, slaps on the shoulder hard. I'm talking about depresses him in his seat. He'll have a strong ale, but not the crack that he had the other day. And same thing with me.
And the weight of his soul, just hearing that, just kind of sinks down in there.
Well, you didn't drink what was here, which looks different than what you had before. What you had before seemed to be the blood of a demon. The drink that they're serving here appears to be laced with soul essence.
Now I'm just picturing all the demon cups glowing blue.
More like violet.
Violet?
That's right, the trust.
So, as I look around, is there
It is
food
in
being
his
served
you
or
fucking
just
lap.
alcohol?
Nope, just alcohol.
Okay.
You drank
Do they
someone's
have
soul.
anything
Good job.
that warm meal in a cup they used to drink in the old world?
Oh, you ask the bartender?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, you eat some breakfast.
Something.
He goes over to the tap, pours you up beer, puts it on there, reaches down below the counter, cracks something, and then drops an egg into it, and then pushes it forward.
My
Uh,
100.
Mr. Bartender, what type of animal laid that egg?
Yes, that's
Chicken?
kind of a paltry sum here.
Best not to think about it. Bottoms up.
That's only 10 bits.
I'll have one of those.
He,
I need to get it.
I'm a cook, so
So all slaves.
I don't know, and I don't think about it.
I made a beef.
fair enough.
Scared of
Best to think that way.
If it's
Bottoms
big-
up.
If it's big enough to fill a pint over there, Roddy.
It's really
Go up to
It's more like egg over pint.
Corrine. So, this is a favor you want us to do. We need to take care of it.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Deadlines are looming. Very simply. And she gives you precise directions on how to reach the abode of one Everfire, as she refers to him.
Oh, before I forget, one of my companions is somewhat taken with one of your cattle. How would we go about purchasing this?
Well, Trisman can offer me either appropriate sum of money, or she can offer me an appropriate favor. I prefer favors.
So, what would an appropriate favor be?
That's between her and me.
Well, I wish to help. She's not very good at negotiation.
Even better for me.
Yeah, so that's why I wish to help.
Well, this is more of a personal matter for her and myself. I would like to keep it that way. I don't negotiate through proxies.
Thunder gut.
Yes, Ricky.
Wish to speak
But
to
if
you
I wish to purchase
about
it,
a certain amount of money.
But you don't.
maybe I like
Okay.
having things as the people want. You
I need a lot of
certainly
money.
do.
It's much more interesting for me to deal with Trisman. than
Okay.
you. You have a silver tongue. She
All
does
right.
not. And it helps that she can't lie.
Yes,
I
this is like
can't-
clubbing a seal, though. It's not a challenge.
But I love.
I have what I have.
I don't need a challenge.
How much you have?
What do you need?
A lot, but we don't have access to it.
A conversation alone with Trisman would do just
need
nicely.
A lot.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't like
purchasing
that.
a person.
That
And I would like a lot of money to purchase a person.
She has money, but
time is
No,
wasting.
what a
don't
lot of
have-
money means.
I would prefer if
something
you all.
better.
How about you think about that if you survive whatever favor Everfire asks you all for?
Fine,
They all know.
fine. If we go,
But should she want him to join you all on your journeys, or be sent to her home within Regalport for extracurriculars, then she is more than happy to come and negotiate with me. He is a very good earner.
very well.
Pure dragonborns are a rarity in these parts.
She won't negotiate with me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I want to
Apparently,
roll
my reputation
before,
precedes
like
me.
before they actually showed up and I did the snoo. I want to roll challenge divinity to smith the dragonborn skull with some metal over top into a cod piece.
Okay.
So that's one of my challenge divinities for the day. But now I have a dragonborn skull cod piece.
Are you wearing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's creepifying. We go to see the.
Fire.
Yeah, it's that one.
Vodka. I'd be curious if you'd make me a cut piece. I
No.
like wearing this.
We have things to do.
I gotta finish your armor first, lad. We chop off another head, you get a cod piece.
All right.
Alright, we're off to see Everfire.
Okay.
Also, my weapon, to put in my inventory, I want to wield it because half orcs are still orcs, and they like to wield their trophies. So, how would I wield that since it's a
Well,
great axe?
you mean it's a battle axe.
Okay, battle axe. Okay, cool. I shall add that to my inventory.
The Obsidian Battle Axe.
Okay. With her directions, it is a fairly easy jaunt in order to find this abode. Before you leave, she hands you a ring from her left ring finger. Present this so he knows it is I who's sending you.
Yeah.
When you all...
Switch holy symbols.
Okay.
The
Two?
fancy silver flame one that the knight gave me.
Okay. As...
Try to kiss me again as we're leaving, right?
No,
No, but she might
a
want
deal
to.
hasn't been made.
So, just
We should make a deal,
she may
Tristan.
ask you to do some unsavory things for your slave.
What unsavory thing?
She likes you, like a man likes a woman. Only she's a woman that likes a woman.
She wants to smash your snatch.
So you must ask yourself, what do you want to give her to get your slave?
I'm married.
I'm sure your husband would like the idea of it.
Well, it's not really laying with another man now.
It doesn't seem as if you can really quantify her sexuality, though.
Yes, but I'm enjoying the discomfort.
Yes. Well, I mean, with you, you've seen how she touches men and kisses women. Like, she seems to drive everyone wild.
I think she just likes good-looking people. You know, actual good-looking people.
She ignored Flynn.
I know.
I must be hideous.
Don't worry, Flynn. You're only hideous in our eyes.
Alright, so off to Everfire.
It is an easy trek in order to find Everfire's abode. Very simple. Stone brick building of very simple construction, not very large. As you all approach, it's still in a very human, mortal district of this town, of Maruk Dar, I should say. It is on that path of burning torches, though. As you guys move around, you can definitely feel as if something's different this morning. While most of the mercantile district appears to be the same, you're sure that tower was over there yesterday. That it was east of the promenade here, as opposed to north of it. That's just kind of weird, and kind of dawns on you for a moment that it seems as if the shifting nature of the labyrinth still resides within Maruk Dar itself.
Then again, we're also told that the shit shifts with head honcho's whims. So.
With his, based upon his whims, yes.
So, I'll knock on the door.
Okay. Wrapping your knuckles against the door. It's a few moments before the door is pulled open, just a few inches. Not enough to see by. There's no light within this abode. All you can see is a bit of scruffy face and one eye peering through the door. What?
I'll do the illumination trick on the holy symbol. I'm here to see Khan Everfire.
Why?
I have
What need you have of him?
A favor is owed and it will be repaid.
Closes the door. Almost a full minute passes before the door is pulled open again. He has his hand upon a broadsword sitting at his belt.
Well, that's not very polite.
Looks at each of you in turn. Eyes are very wild. You can see he tries very hard not to blink often, as it seems as if things could jump out and attack him at any moment. So he looks at each of you. Who sent you?
Corrine,
And he holds out his hand.
hold up the ring. You can see it here.
Give it to me.
Put the ring in his hand.
He looks at it, tucks it away. Come. Why are you standing out there in the heat? Come, inside.
Follow the demented man.
Fucking Thraka does this fairy like behind the little man's back, just like.
I'm making the sounds of a cuckoo clock.
He just kind of looks around outside. And once you all come in, he closes the door, turns to you all.
In the clock?
What? Why are you here? Why are you with Kareen? What are you doing here?
She said
In my home.
she owes you a favor. She wants us to take care
Yes.
of it. What favor do you require?
You're here for the favor?
Yes.
That's what we said.
I have a need of favors. Would you all like some work?
Yes, what do you want?
Favor for a favor, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I have. There's a great many things that need to be done. Sit. Inside is much better adorned than what you would have thought. While he appears to be dirty and disheveled, the couch that he has appears to be a very fine make. He has a very nice set of dresser drawers. It appears as if you are in just the open space of the first room of his building. There are 2 doors leading off to other sides of the building. As he motions for you all to sit on the various couch or chairs. He pulls out a couple of chairs from around his table and sets them into the living space so each of you can take a seat. Then he, instead of sitting, just kind of crouches down, just bending his knees and kind of bouncing on the balls of his feet as he looks at each of you in turn. Okay.
What's the height, weight?
This guy's probably about 6'2", very well built. At one time in his life, he was probably a very, very powerful and well-fit fighter. But you can see a lot of his hair is receding. His hairline is about halfway up his head now. The rest of the hair, what hair is around the sides of his head, appears to be slowly graying, turning to silver. He appears to be caked in dirt and dust, though his clothing the armor appears to be very well polished, well used. The damage on it has been beaten out, to look more appealing. Though it is definitely armor that has seen better days. The pommel of his broadsword appears to be very well worn, and seems as if he gets quite a bit of use out of it. He looks at each of you, then looks over at you, brother. Why would you come here? Did the flame speak to you too? Is that why you're here?
We are here to do great good, but we need information from Corrine first. And to get the information from Corrine, we must take care of the favor she owes you.
I thought the flame leads you. It leads you as it led me. This place, it is unholy. It is a den of evil. There is much injustice here.
Yeah,
it needs to be destroyed.
And we will burn some of it out tonight.
Such as the flame does. All things burn in the flame, only purity remains.
Yeah, so fire
I have
excellent.
The favor I was going to ask of Corrine. There are wicked men who trade in people, women and children, women of other races, men from all over.
Well, these
They
wicked
bring
men.
them here.
And what do you want done with them?
I need them driven out. You have need of favor? Then this is a favor that I need. And should you complete it, I have other favors I will need. Should you wish to spread the word of the holy flame.
So, if you have something pressing, a mission, should you say, from the gods, that must be accomplished.
Yes.
And to do this, we must complete the favor owed. So, if we drive out the slavers, does that completes the favor?
If you destroy the slavers, free the slaves, bring them to me, that I may take care of them, then I will call the debt paid.
Deal.
Yes.
Yes.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
9 cents.
Okay.
Just like, do I sense anything evil off this man? Or anything?
Yeah, you get a fairly strong sense of evil.
What are you going to do with the people?
Free them? What do you think? The slavers, scum of the earth.
So I'll roll for an intimidation check to, because I already don't like the fact that he's talking about a divine flame, considering that I'm a cleric. I'm a little bit more devout than she is.
So what are you going to say?
I'm going to say, so which flame do you worship, little man, before we turn people over to you?
He stands up, looks at you. The only flame that matters. The silver flame. The one true God.
There's a lot of gods out there. By the way, I rolled a 23.
Disadvantage. This guy's mad as a hatter.
What is 18 plus... So I got 23 on the first one. 18 plus 6 plus another one. So 18 plus 7?
So 23.
So 23.
He does not appear to be intimidated by you at all. He just looks at you.
So you freeze them, right?
Yes. They'd be free.
Very well. You heard him. He's
Kill the
doing a good
slavers,
thing.
turn them over to me. Then call the deal done.
Says no other way.
So just turn them over to you and then the deal is done.
The favor owed from Kareen is done, yes.
Let's
Just
both off
after
to
we
the
start
side.
moving.
Relax.
Oh, suddenly his eyes kind of narrows as he looks at you.
He
I'm
doesn't
just saying
worship
the
any
wording
particular
correct
one.
right now.
She's very cautious because she has dealt with Kareen, and you know how tricky that one is. Not pure at all.
She kind of ignores you for a moment and looks over at you. Favor for a favor. Favor is owed. Do this for Kareen. Or not. You can go. Go back to Kareen.
So
Tell her you failed in your
I
task.
pull her aside or whatever as he's talking, or whatever, because he's already fucking whacked off his mind. And I tell her, just so you know, since you care about the little slave boy that overheard, like I'm whispering in her ear, like away from, since you care about the little slave boy's life, just so you know, there's a lot of gods out there that freeing is burning. So if you want people to burn to death, we could always get rid of him. There's one of him in many of us.
Since the favor is not completed, she loses her reputation.
She doesn't have to have a return of favor.
Yeah, she does.
No, she doesn't if there's no favor to return if he's gone. She doesn't have to pay back shit if he's gone. I thought you were a good man.
I am what I am.
Where are these slavers?
He looks at each of you for a moment. I don't like the Trixie. You seek to fight me? Kill me?
Trixie. I want to know where the slavers are.
Friend, she's a paladin of Dolora. I've heard is good.
Foul God.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
but they do not lie.
God is foul.
Eyes.
Is this the Thrain?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Eyes narrow even more.
Oh.
Stand full height, you know. I just wish to help people be free.
Very tenses on his gun.
Favor for a favor.
I've already given them.
Yeah,
their-
where is the slavers?
Where are the slavers?
Kind of looks at each of you over again, real slow. I don't like you. Trixie.
That's not a requisite for me, us doing the favor.
You're right, little man. It's not. You're right. You're right. I hate you, but you hate me. That's okay.
I don't hate
Because
you,
you'll
brother.
kill the slavers.
It will be good.
You'll free the people. You'll bring them to me.
Yeah, this is how it will go. And since the favor is done,
Then the favor is complete.
and the flame grows greater.
Always. The flame cannot be diminished.
Not even a little bit.
Bring them to me.
We will.
Destroy the slavers.
Yeah. Bear is a slaver so we can get on with the destroying. We must purify him.
He turns to a shelf that he has, pulls out a piece of paper, and hands it to you.
It's on paper.
You unroll it and look at it. It's an order form, looks to be. Looks like it was intercepted by him. And it gives vague directions to some place within the city, off the flame trail.
All right, time to go. Hand it to Barry.
Come back with the people.
Yes.
Come back
Yeah,
with
we
him.
come back with the people.
And favor for a favor.
Yeah.
It's on. And he begins just talking to himself, as if you all aren't there.
As soon as we're out of earshot. Well, that one's madder than a shithouse mouse, and we probably have to kill him.
He's evil.
Yeah, but we have to have him say the favor's done before we kill him.
Fine.
Then we kill him. You
I don't
know,
want him to
purifying him in the flame and all that
Well.
shit.
Wait,
Switch holy symbols back to
That's what
Alondra.
he's going
Okay.
to do, most likely. What? Their religion is odd.
Listen,
Only a
most
religion
times, because listen, I learned about a lot of gods because my god is the best. But the thing, in contrast to those two, the thing is, typically
take
if
us
it
to the
aligns with
slavers.
fire and it's not forging something anew, it is something aligned with death. What happens when you burn something that you're not smelting?
You know
It
about the silver
dies.
flame. And the silver flame, you've run into them before. They are devout, holy people.
So maybe just not.
They don't burn people at the stake for no reason. The only people that they attack are known evildoers. They help their community. You know, the entire country of Thrain worships the silver flame
I have a
and the
feeling
embodiment
we-
of their god.
Don't
The
put
knights
silver
that we
flame.
saved, the one that gave you the holy symbol.
So it's just this guy's just whacking
This
it.
dude's out of the shit.
Oh, that's right. I remember those people.
Right, so if we go free some slaves, we all agree that's a good thing.
Yes.
Then we bring them back to Crazy Priest. If he does something stupid, we purify Crazy Priest.
All right. So I take the map and try and find.
Roll me a survival check.
The only reason
19. 20.
20?
The only reason Thraka's responding that way is because he has one holy book, and every holy book typically says your god is the right god.
Not
So-
really in the sovereign host. It's a different thing.
Think the Norse dude.
Yeah,
Oh.
like you would probably even call worship to Doloral and other things. Like you
Okay.
worship all of the gods.
Think the Norse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Anatar is your patron. He's the one you like the most. But if you need safe passage, you would give fealty to one god, or
Specific phrasing for those
like you
words.
said,
The whole
like it's
house
like
is
the Norse.
supposed to
You
worship.
call
enough.
for
I can't remember what they are.
It's
Most
like
of
calling
the
the
world-
various saints.
I was thinking more traditional cleric.
No, Eberron's not very traditional. It's not a traditional
Yeah,
world.
it's pretty far from it.
You, with this
In
map,
front of you.
it'd actually be fairly simple to find, you think. It is off the beaten path, but it looks like it would have to be in a place that would be able to support a larger structure, a larger permanent structure. And it looks as if it's looks as if it's a general goods store.
As he's looking at the map, I walk up to Perry and I say, "So you think you can get us there?"
I think I can.
And
I think it's over this way.
do you have a strategy about taking myriads of people through the street back to the...
Why are you asking Perry about strategy?
Well, he's reading the map.
It's just like asking a duck about climbing.
I am the one who's used to be in the military over here.
Perhaps a fish about flying then.
It's actually pretty good strategy.
They all talk as the cartographer remains silent.
Would you like to take a look at this map too?
Roll me a survival check.
Yard! With advantage?
Would cartography come
It
into play?
could have been so much better. That's a 14.
14. You can understand the map enough that the two of you can work in concert to more easily find it, so one of you could give advantage to the other. But the map it's written words and pictures. So it's a combination of the two. It looks like it's written in a kind of fairly simple code. A lot of it is thieves' cant, which is one of the reasons you can pick it up a bit better. You basically just look at the overall pictures and, okay.
I'm just getting a Google Map vibe. Oh.
You're like, get directions. A blue arrow appears on the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be so
We have
useful.
sending stones. Come on.
So-
Smart sending stones.
Well, I take it we need to scope the place out first to see what we're headed up against.
Trust to luck. It works for us. Lead the way.
I would say that that's a bad idea, but it actually has helped us out a lot. So, let's go.
Go ahead and roll me another survival check. Either one of you with advantage.
I'll do it with advantage.
Wait. I'm trying to think of.
Oh, shit.
You've got, wait. Please tell me you roll high.
No, but my survival is high. 19.
19? Okay. Fairly quickly, you all managed to find this building. This building is Butler's Beautiful Goods.
Oh, that's fun.
Seems like a very bad name.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And you all get you all get the a very fronty vibe,
What is it? What type of vibe?
like it's a front.
Oh.
I shall head in.
As you push the door open, a bell rings over your head.
Motion to Thraka to open the door for me.
I'd
I
go
shall do
around
my
the
best
back.
to look important.
So, get yourself limbered up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure the hair is in exactly the right place.
Okay.
Now, since none of my holy stuff is coming up, I'm just going to rely on old gangland swagger from where I grew up. I'm just going to walk in, like, you know...
You hear the bell above your head?
So,
patron thug.
Baraka,
This is a strangely small building.
you want more than-
The back of it appears as if it has a larger store area in the back. This front area is 4 shelves. The 4 shelves are sparsely populated with things like rope, a grappling hook, bits of rations, things like that. As you walk in, you see a gruff-looking human raise his head and look at you, kind of squints at you. Welcome to Butler's Goods.
Thank you for the welcome. I am Liam.
Kind of.
I am here to buy crew.
What we got on the shelves is what we got for sale.
Something not on the shelves.
I got a few things in the back, I guess, but
The special inventory.
what are...
Flash
I'm
the
not
soul
following,
gems.
friend. You flash the soul gems?
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh. What exactly are you looking for?
Before he does that,
Special crew inventory. You know, maybe something that will sell well to certain clientele. Then I ship out from here.
Are the rest of you entering in here at this point?
I enter before him. What I was going to ask is before, could I try to roll for, you know, just in general intimidation since I'm trying to do the thuggery thing? Get to where we want?
We'll deal with that if it comes up.
I don't want the soul gems to be shown.
And just be like,
So you enter?
I enter.
Okay, so it's the 3 of you. You said you go around back.
Yeah.
You go around back.
I'll go around back.
Okay. It is a fairly large building. You guys don't see the storefront as you guys walk around back. It's probably about 80 feet long and about 60 feet wide.
Any other entrances?
The front part of the building you see has the door. The rest of it is a solid stone building.
So one way in?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please. So getting back to you after I get his roll.
Expensive, and it's my last one.
26.
26, okay. And so you all walk in, and you flash the soul gems. He looks at them and kind of looks over at you two. Just you,
If you bring my bodyguards.
without weapons.
Okay, so can I roll for intimidation now?
Sure.
Plus, they're not very good bodyguards
What's,
without weapons.
20 plus 7?
27?
20 plus 7, nat 20 plus 7.
27.
He squints his eyes at you a bit, looks over at you.
Comfy deal in cash. Well, it's a special cash.
And the boss doesn't go undefended.
Fine. He can follow you.
What about her? What about him? Yeah, there's a redhead.
Her can stay here.
That's not very useful.
If you all want to do serious business, then let's play seriously. You can follow him. You can still leave your weapons here. Ain't no one getting near my merchandise with it thus armed.
You're not afraid of one little half-orc, are you? I'm sure there's much security in here to prevent incidents.
Yeah, and it prevents it even better when he puts his weapons on and gives his weapons over to her and lets her hold them.
I don't like being without security, and you're losing a very great payment.
And I don't like armed men coming into my business.
We make
Bit
a
of
deal.
trust here. I'll let you have your bodyguard, but he comes unarmed. He's a big dude. I'm sure he can handle himself.
Yeah. One little weapon, either way, it's not a big thing.
You can have a dagger.
How about an axe?
How about a dagger?
A short sword?
You're driving the price up the more you negotiate. You understand this, right?
Yeah, I have some money, but my own safety, it values higher than Honestly, I haven't even seen Savez.
Fine. He goes. He stays. I see one thing I don't like from either one of you, and trust me, none of you are going to walk out of here alive.
I doubt you'll see anything you don't like.
Good to know. As you're all moving around, you're just kind of staring at this thing like, this is pretty badly built. I mean, the bricks aren't even overlaid properly. I mean, look at these lines. They couldn't even make a straight line to save their lives. And you see Perry walk up to the back wall, and he's staring at one section of wall, and you kind of look over what he's doing, and he pushes it. And you see a section of the wall just go and begin to slide open. Or I should say swing open. You can look inside and you can see there's a very dark room in the space beyond.
Let's go quietly.
So I need the
Not too quiet.
three of you to roll me stealth checks, please.
Come on,
Pass without a
boy.
trace.
Okay.
I was
Disadvantage.
gonna say.
So add 10.
Huh? Oh, right. Well, that's good.
Not like that.
Just so you know, David, earlier on, I forgot to say, since Raka knows that he's about to go into something possibly like more jacked up, I haven't done it in a while, but my plate is now +1.
Okay.
So I'm at 23 armor class.
I'm gonna assume, unless you tell me otherwise, you're doing your armor every day.
Well, I kind of reserve it in case like someone like Flynn needs it, so
Okay.
I'll let you know every time I do it.
Okay.
So when we head out for the day, I'm at 23 armor class now because +1.
Okay.
Disadvantage still rolled a 34.
Let me calculate mine up real quickly.
So you-
rolled very
That's
40.
well for me anyway.
37.
So 34, 37, 24. So you're both kind of proud, as you guys are sneaky fellows. And you guys are used to infiltrating places like this. But as you see Rotmir tiptoeing like a ninja into this place, kind of brings a smile to your face, as he does pretty well. You try not to take too much of the credit, as you know it's your
you
spell
see him-
helping out.
You see him looking at his hand, missing the ring that he had.
The room that you all enter is dark. A few seconds after you all walk in, the secret door that you found, slowly closes and clicks shut.
What
You
does the
hear.
dark vision reveal?
This is a fairly well-packed area. There's lots of boxes in this thing, but you hear muffled voices on the other side of this door. As he looks over at you, or making his deal, you stay. You two can go.
We go.
He sticks his head behind an archway that has a blanket hanging there to block the view into the next room. He says a very low word, a couple of words, and then another person comes out, kind of looks at the two of you, whispers over to him, and then takes his place behind the counter, not taking their eyes off of you. He nods at you all to follow him.
I will make a show of leaving my gilded mace at the counter.
Okay. You walk back. Yeah, as you all walk through that entranceway or that passageway that has the piece of cloth hanging, you guys can see there is a closed door to your right, and you see him walk up to what appears to be just the end of a hall. As he gets there, he kicks the ground twice and takes a step back, and you see a very, very well hidden secret door just pop open. And you see a head pop out and looks up at him, and he just kind of mumbles a word, and head goes back down, and begins to climb down. You all find yourselves in a 30-foot by 30-foot room of stone walls, made of the same basic construction as the building itself, but much better inlaid construction down here. You see a few barrels, some boxes, other accoutrement of a trading profession. The other gentleman who was already down here, you see walk to the very back end of the wall, and how you didn't see it over with these, but in a similar fashion, pushes a brick in, and you see a section of wall kind of shunt out and then swing open.
Sub-vocally describing everything on the sending stone to the rest of them.
Okay.
Third brick from the left. Stop twice.
I need a perception check from the three of you, please. And I will get to what you guys hear in just a moment.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Disadvantage to roll 15 plus.
As you all, as this door opens up, and
23.
so 16, 18, 23, okay. As that door opens up, you can see beyond is a naturally carved chamber that looks to be fairly crudely and quickly carved out of the rock. Inside you see 4 beds. You see a couple of setups that hold armor and weapons there that that can be put on in a hurry. You see there is a hallway on your right hand side that leads down into darkness, and before that hallway you see an unladen cart ready for use. It looks as if they are ready to move at but a moment. There is a door to your right that remains closed. The gentleman that you initially talked to turns to you as you walk in. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm not sure what you have in stock.
I can tell you what I have in stock. I don't parade out my entire stable for everyone to see. What are you looking for? You looking for fighters? You looking for women? You looking for children?
Fighters, women, and maybe a few children.
How many?
5 fighters, 3 women.
I got 10 people total currently.
Oh, well, maybe I buy all 10 then. But I need to see some.
Let me see one of those gems first.
You saw some?
It's easy to fake those. Come on now, hand one over.
Hold it up to where you can see it. You don't.
He-
Hold some money until I see
He
some.
pulls a almost like a monocle out that he holds up to his eye as he gets real close to it, and you see his eyebrow kind of shoot up on his left side. He looks in.
Put it back in the bag. I have the soul gems on top with regular gems below it.
Yeah, he sees the soul gems and
So the bag looks full.
yeah. I'll tell you what. I like your face. Look like an honest merchant to me.
But of course.
How about nice and easy? 1 soul gem, 5 slaves.
1 for 10. And we throw in a platinum waistband.
I could really use 2 of those soul gems. But if you don't want to part with the second one, let's say 1 soul gem and 10,000 gold for the other 5.
I don't like buying stock without seeing stock. So perhaps you bring some forward?
I'll bring you 1. They're all in good order. I'm running a business here.
Yeah, I
My
understand. But
my
maybe this
reputation
is not
is
to my
all, I
taste.
live or die on it.
Maybe this is not to my taste. You know, I'm looking for very particular things. That's why I came here. I heard you run a very good business.
All right,
But I must seize the stock.
fair enough. 100 gold for a gander.
Yeah, we can do this. Pays it, man.
Yeah, I've
The other
got,
guy walks up
I've
and-
got gold to spend, so I just like the thing is, like, I'm staying like a gangster, you know, with thumb in the eye hole of the dragon, half dragon skull codpiece, whatever, you know, like just kind of sitting there, you know, just.
Now, as you all moved up to the door, the closed door, you see it is barred from the side that you're on, and you hear footsteps leading down. Then you hear Flynn's voice enter your head, describing where he's going, and you realize the group of people now moving past and heading down. Slowly, the footsteps of them disappearing. You hear is going into an underground basement, and then heading into another room beyond that.
Tristan, I almost have the slaves. Get ready.
And the room that we're in?
The room that you're in appears to be a back storeroom, but it is barred from this side. And with your all's perception check, you hear light snoring coming from your left, and you see there is, with your dark vision, you see there is a man against the wall, chin on his chest, snoring softly.
So you look like a guard. Oh, only hit.
Is he armed?
Oh no, the three of you see this. It's pretty easy to see. He's snoring loud enough. You all hear him.
Is he
But
like,
he's armed.
okay, so he's
Insight. I
Four.
don't know if he's actually sleeping.
Oh, if he wasn't sleeping, he probably would have already raised the alarm by now.
Ah.
I mean, are you going to walk up and slap him and see if he wakes up?
Hey,
or?
you asleep?
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
Because he appears to be.
Ear to ear.
Let's strike with the knife to make him completely unconscious.
Oh, that's real nice.
Roll a hit with advantage. And if you hit, I'll call it a crit. You see him?
I really don't like him. Put it on him.
Okay.
I'm drawing my +1 short sword, and I'm jabbing it as hard as I can.
Sneak attack. So roll a hit. If you hit, it's a crit.
Don't fuck this up, Kyle.
Yeah,
Dear
right.
God.
Can't forget it.
Too bad I don't crit on a 19.
But
Oh, you crit anyway. Yeah. A 19 plus is definitely a hit.
Yeah, right. So, short sword.
Dear God, if he survives, you're just gonna. And he's got a
Well,
sword
I've got
sticking
plenty
out
of
the
attacks to follow up, so I can.
Well, remember,
stun.
all you're rolling here is your short sword damage because the other damage is maxed.
Oh, well, okay.
So it's 6 plus your 6 plus.
6 plus 6 plus 6, because I said I hate him. And
Yep.
it's min damage on that die, but 18, 19 plus 4, so 23 points of damage.
Okay. Are you going to take your second attack or no?
keep stabbing till he doesn't stop twitching.
Yeah.
Roll a hit.
Well, actually, I don't get any of that again. Anyways, my unarmed strike is actually D6. Anyway,
So he
I'm
can't
gonna
scream
stunning
anymore,
strike.
right? He can't scream
Okay.
anymore
I'm gonna
because
stunning strike just to
severed
be sure, 'cause, you know.
vocal cords.
Yeah, whatever, it's all good.
I'm hoping.
Advantage?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nat 20. Oh, fuck me. It's 2 nat 20s.
20s.
1 in
So
400.
another crit. So roll crit damage.
Fuck me.
That is an extra crit.
I would
Yeah, I
like
can bust the key point on this one, and I am stunning striking, but I'm starting to wonder if it's gonna matter.
I would like everyone to know that Kyle has never rolled a 20.
This is very
Oh, I've
Yeah,
got
but-
plenty of 20s, but 2 20s at the same time?
Oh,
That's
So damage?
ridiculous. 7, huh?
Total damage.
The total damage is, well, 12 plus 4, 16, 19.
So you, as he stops you from butt striking this one, you see him stick a short sword right into his chest. As the guy's eyes flare open, the Kenku grabs him by the head and just twists his head around. And you hear a sickening pop as he snaps his neck. And the body just kind of slumps forward with the body facing this way and the face facing the wall.
Anything good looking on him real quickly?
You gonna take the time to search?
Just looking him over.
A crew to go.
Do a investigation check with disadvantage.
Instead of Wrath of Nakazuma, it's Wrath of Yumori.
Wrath of Yumori, right?
That is 19 or 9.
9? Okay. A quick glance. You're more worried about the fading footsteps that you hear as they descend this ladder, and you no longer hear anyone in the hallway on the other side of the door.
Much for the stunning strike.
That seems like a good
You stunned him. You stunned him good.
Oh, he's stunned already.
You stunned him right into dead.
So you hand the 100 gold, and one of the guards goes in the room as the guy with the 100 gold comes up to him. He whispers something into his ear. Both of you go and roll me a perception check, please.
18 plus 1, I know so far.
20.
Just let me look.
Oh, now you roll well.
18 plus 1 is 19.
Right.
So,
You don't quite hear what he says, but definitely heard something. And the guy kind of nods, goes in the next room, and the guy's just kind of standing there smiling like, it'll take a minute. You want to see the stock?
Yeah, you have any vine or anything? It's hot here.
Wine curdles the stomach, man. No.
That's very civilized.
You want some water?
Pull my wine glass out of my... Pull a bottle out. What's the drink?
The most sloshy, like, pour of wine ever.
I'm really glad I didn't.
You know, the
hire
glasses,
you for
you
your
know, the
cultural-
goblet just gets covered in wine.
And then I
Didn't
down the
hire
rest.
a wine steward.
Like a shot.
So that's coming from your pay.
But as this is going on, both of you roll me an insight check.
18 plus 6 plus 1, so 18 plus 7 is 25.
25?
15 plus 0 is 15.
Yeah. You're just kind of like pissed off at the pour that he gave you in that
Yeah.
drink, just like that. Well, you know, it's fine. But as you take the wine and as you're about to down it, you look at the gentleman you're talking to, and you get the sense something's up.
Is there something wrong? My bodyguard does not like the look on your face.
It's about this time you see the guy who walked into the side room comes out, and there are two other men with him, armed, with blades drawn.
Disappear.
Okay, well, before that happens, as they walk out, guy looks at you on, you know, should have gone for the 2 soul gems. Let me show you guys his positioning, and then we will go ahead and call it here for the night.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
That's always a fun place to stop.
Yep, very, very fun place to stop.
I was going to ignite the wine bottle and smash it against their faces.
That would be fun. I hope it's alcoholic enough to.
Considering-
Molotov.
Yeah. I mean, did you bring
Wine.
it Mary?
It's wine. So,
I have brandy.
this is what you all are looking at. At this point, we got Flynn right here, Thraka right next to him. Everyone else is in this floor of the building. This is the basement that you all entered first, and this is the natural cavern. This is the door that the 3 just walked out of. The 3 of them are coming out. You have the one guy here and the other guard in here, sorry. So it's 4 people in here and 1 guy in here. Oh, that's not good.
All right.
Sorry about that blast of sound. But we're going to go ahead and call it here for the night. We will pick up the next game session with this fight and see what happens to the Knights of Fate. Thank you all for joining us on our regular Wednesday night game. Hope you all had as much fun as we did. And the scarring of a poor dragonborn by the name of Gek.
Right.
And I hope to see you all guys next time. Thank you very much to Military Gamer Supply for putting on the stream, and David's Tiles of Terrain for providing all of the tiles and terrain that we're using. You all have yourselves a great night, and remember to love each other.
Shout out to Drooling Dan for the comments.
Yep, shout out to Drooling Dan. Thank you, Drooling Dan. You all have a great night.
Mike's off.
Everybody's mic off.
When you say that,
I hope you can hold him for a couple rounds.